Hello, everyone, and welcome to the stream. My name is Lee, and you should be good. Let me just do the one. I screwed that up, didn't I? Okay. But
Off to a good start.
um,
Oh yeah.
hello. Uh, I didn't send out the notifications, but that's okay. So we're just gonna send out that now, and the rest of it'll people find us, hopefully. Um, welcome everyone to the stream. My name is Lee. I am your GM for the day, and we have lots of fun players who have agreed to join me, who are really cool, and we have a cool session planned. I know we're a little late, but we are all here, and the tech is working. And actually, do any of you have the stream open? Let's see.
Yes.
Oh, good. The thingy's going up and down. That's good. Sometimes some of the audio doesn't get. We've had some issues with audio recording properly and getting streamed properly before, and yeah, I just want to make sure that doesn't. I want to get ahead of it this time, so that we don't have the first 10 minutes where you can hear the players but not the GM, or the GM but not the players, because we've had both happen.
It
and
really do be like that.
Yeah. So.
Technical issues.
Yes. So I want to get ahead of that, but welcome in. Welcome. And so my name's Lee. Why don't I give a chance for all the players to introduce themselves? Starting, we can put them in the list, the order I have the list on the screen in. So, starting with Jeff, you get to go first, because I put you at the top.
Yeah, hi, my name's Jeff. I'm playing my character Johan Johansson the 45th. He comes from a long line of Johans. He is the arch-militant of the ship, and he loves donuts.
Cool. And then Celiax?
My name is Celiax. I'm from the, from Midwest U.S. I'm reprising the role of Finnick, the resident astropath, who was only very minorly mutated with, furry tail and dog ears and whatnot. It's all normal. I'm sanctioned.
Yeah.
Also house trained. It's good. We're good.
The next one would be Rob. If you want to.
Yeah, let me. All right, sorry. Have to mute Twitch. It's confusing. It's a little delay. Yeah, real nice name, Rob. Online moniker, typically Ducat, but I am playing the character Janthine, a tech priest. Highly augmented, I think. Is that right, Lee?
Very.
Yeah.
You actually have extra too.
Yeah. So, just to let you know, I am here under duress because Lee threatened me. So.
Very gently. That's an important question.
Oh yeah, cat's fine. Cat's fine. I mean, okay. It was $5,000 in vet bills, but it's fine.
Didn't mean that. Oh, okay. Rachel, the newbie, who is the first time appearing on this channel. Oh no, not the first time, because you came in the Broncolonia one shot, and
I did, and it was so fun.
Convincing frickin'. You ended up using cows as dowry to marry the cute pasta maker.
Let's go.
Yes, I gave them the cows, in fairness. So
it was great. But yeah, hi, I'm Rachel. I will be playing Dronia Genre. Not sure how to pronounce the last name, but it doesn't matter. Adronia.
How you pronounce it is now will become canon.
Fantastic. Genre. We're going with that. Who is also a tech priest and probably less mechanized than our buddy Janthine.
Slightly. I think we don't have the extra mechdendrites, but pretty much all the other stuff's standard tech priest stuff. That means
yeah.
Two servo skulls kicking around.
We do. Overbite, the love of my life, is my servo skull.
Yeah.
And that's all.
But that's okay. Okay, and last but not least, Reaper.
Yep, I am playing as Harmon. I'm our pilot, pretty much.
You're the only one with piloting skills, essentially, in the main party, so.
Oh no.
There's
we've needed him. Yeah,
I
we've
better
needed
make
him in
good
the past.
checks.
To be fair, there are plenty of the thing about being on a rogue trader ship is you are in a ship with 26,000 extra civilians who do random things around the ship, run machines and cook and clean and do all of the things, run the engines, tax, any specialty or anything. You probably have someone who can kind of do it.
Nice.
So if you need, you also have a whole number of backup who I've given names to in case you need particular specialties, and 100 others waiting to be named if needed. So you guys, don't have a shuttle pilot. Although
I have a question, Rachel. How much experience with Warhammer 40K do you have? And I ask because me and Harmon are like very new. I've played.
Great, same.
Okay. All right.
I
Cool.
have not played anything involving Warhammer 40K. I've watched 2 videos and read what my traits do skills do, and
that's the character sheet is a pretty good start, I will say.
That's what I got.
All right.
All right.
Don't worry if you have to do any rolling or mechanical stuff. I will explain everything. Also,
Thank you.
Actually knows
I
the
do have a
rules,
mechanical
so
D100.
Yep, you want to make sure you roll a 100 every
Count
time.
the Omnisaya, so we are.
Don't lie to me. Don't lie to me.
Yes. So yes, rogue traders, you have been given, your captain has been given a warrant of trade. Actually, her father had one, and she got an extension on his, kinda, by the Emperor himself. Well, by the High Lords of Terra, hypothetically by the Emperor. I don't know if the Emperor really signs. I mean, he does the soul bondings. That the Emperor himself does. Everything else is kind of High Lords of Terra doing it in his name. But you have a warrant of trade, which lets you trade with anyone. I don't even think you have to pay taxes. You are basically above a lot of local laws. Any planetary governors are required to cooperate with you. You can go outside the Imperium and come back in without being deemed traitor, which is very, very rare. So yeah, you can do that. You can conquer in the name of the Imperium any planet that has humans on it who are not Imperial citizens. You can force them to become Imperial citizens and make them kind of
colonization
lieges, kinda vassals. That's the one. You can make them vassal states if you want. Vassal states. What else? You can trade with Xenos as long as you're willing to stab them in the back and go report them to the Administratum for murder at some point. So but you can trade with them, and it's not you're not considered traitor for daring to speak to them, without immediately murdering them on sight. Which, to be fair, the first Imperium encountered were the orcs, and I think that kind of threw everyone for a loop. And a lot of Xenos actually hate the Imperium, but it's a self-fulfilling cycle kind of deal. Sometimes they'll work together against Chaos and or Tyranids because there are a lot of factions that want a lot of things that hurt a lot of people, and sometimes you have to work with unpleasant people, and also the government might kind of be dating one, but that's an entirely separate thing. So, yes, they're also, so yeah, you guys get, like, special treatment above the law because you have a warrant of trade. You also have a lot of resources at your disposal, and you can get more, but the planet is dangerous. The warp is dangerous. You have a lot of dangers on you, so you're gonna need every scrap you can get and more to really actually deal. Because you've already had possessed servitors, orcs. You guys dealt with the orcs actually pretty well, I will say. And that was just on the way to Applassia, if I recall correctly. Was that and someone tried to
was that considered a random encounter?
Yes, the warp.
Okay.
I have a warp table. Usually it's a lot gentler. I have picked it up a notch. There are spots where if you roll right, nothing happens for a week. I've limited those, and I've spread those out as well, so that it's not all in high. It's more random because
if every number has an equal chance, what difference does it make whether they're together or not?
Yeah, exactly. And I think it does. If we had someone actually playing the Navigator, I might rework that because it does give you bonuses to the roll. In like the same way that if you roll on the random encounter table, all the demony stuff is like up in the like in the 90s because you get a minus 10 if you have certain bonuses, so you have a lesser chance of becoming demon host.
That's always on the table for me at any given time.
Yes, true.
That
Could just
sounds
happen. Sorry.
terrifying.
Well, yeah, but you have the sanctioning of the Emperor, which means over 75% of the time you can just make it ice and not anything else. You can do that because the Emperor likes
It
you.
helps a bit.
And you don't have to roll if you not unless you roll doubles, if I recall correctly.
Lee, you don't need to give her the way to play navigator since none of us are navigators.
I know that. That's why I don't have it yet. But
I can navigate in Stellar.
Yes, that's true. But as soon as you go into the warp, I mean, well, you guys have a navigator on the ship anyway. Okay, so we have our friends. We are on Applassia. You guys are on planet, except Harmon and Adronia haven't come down yet. But the captain is suggesting that you send one last flyer with a few other people, just as backup, with you, and he's sending. Captain says, we need an extra tech priest. I'm sending Adronia because I trust her. She's like, she knows. You are like, I don't want to say favorite, but
You have a lot of expectations to live up to now. Just be aware.
So
yeah.
She's really good with a flamethrower, is what you're saying?
Well, I sent you with your best flamethrower guy already.
Yeah, but Adronia is a female, is she not?
Yeah.
So send the best flamethrower female as well. I mean, we want equal representation on our flamethrower team.
If I get a flamethrower, I would love to. That would be great.
I am not gonna. There's probably an extra one in the freaking ship's locker. Not anything fancy, mind you. It'd probably be like no more than decent craftsmanship. But yeah, there are canonically flamethrowers on board, so I'm not gonna say you can't take one. Out of the ship's locker.
I'll get it.
Okay. I will look up the stats for you. But yeah, all right. So now,
thank you.
Okay, yeah, you're strapping on a flamethrower, and then the captain says, "What about?" And then remembers that Johann had a whole core of them go down, and just says, "If anything catches fire, please don't." And she kind of puts her hands gently on your shoulders. Says, "Please don't catch anything on fire that they really like. We're trying to make a good impression."
I won't.
Okay. Have fun with the flamethrower. And then Harmon, we're short pilots. Would you go down with her? And do you need anyone else? Do you think, who else should we send? And then she's gonna vox Johann. Johann, do you need any backup?
Me?
Yeah. I'm sending.
Of course not.
Adronia down.
Wait.
And Harmon.
Yes, I need a backup chef in case our team accidentally fries our current donut maker. It's always good to have a backup donut maker.
I'm not sending Stubbs down just to make you donuts.
I just noticed I'm like talking into my mic like I'm Johann talking into a mic.
I mean, you have a little box.
As you should.
I'm role playing, thank you.
There you go. She sighs, goes and brings you 2 boxes and say there as a consolation. Do you want anyone? We can send to doctors. We can send. Do you think? Do you want me to send Dr. Keynes down?
Are we expecting burns from our?
No, but her specialist. Is there any? Does anyone look sick? Because I realized I didn't give you any inoculation updates, and they might have germs. I did not think that through.
Wait, we're gonna get sick down here?
I mean, it's always a possibility.
Just me, like,
Johan's starting to look around like, "Uh-oh, what?
Roll it. You know what? Roll it.
How do
awareness check.
Okay.
Start staring his team down.
Pretty sure my immune system is also augmented.
Oh, that's true. Don't
Yeah.
too much about that.
Awareness. Where
We also
is
have an
my?
infectious disease specialist aboard, who is not doctor because she had to drop out of med school. What did you get?
I don't know. I don't have any training in that. So do I?
You don't have awareness?
Well, you didn't give us any EXP.
I did too give you EXP. I've given you so much EXP.
Yeah, but not for last week. Not for the last time we played.
I am
all right.
Almost certain.
Nope.
You didn't. You haven't.
Dang it. Okay. All right. But awareness is good. Okay, so use your perception score. Use your perception score.
Oh, okay.
It's a basic skill, so you just half of whatever
Yeah,
your score is.
Technically, yes.
Well, yeah, I failed.
Okay. Well, doesn't look like anyone's sick. I mean, someone's sniffling. That could be a good sign. But he's 3, so that might just be a thing. Yeah, you're not sure.
So, do we have a doctor player besides Cutter?
No, but I can send you NPC. I have several NPC doctors who have appeared on stream before, and I can send one of them in the flyer with Harmon or one of them can be sent in the flyer with Harmon and Adronia.
I'm telling you, it's like a role play, a law of the universe that the people that you need to show up of a certain class won't be the ones to show up.
Yeah.
So, do y'all want us to bring one?
Yes, please.
All right. So they send not Dr. Keynes and.
So, will we get in trouble if we start shooting sickly ones? I'm just asking for a friend.
You gotta cull the herd.
Probably get you out of legal trouble for murder if you don't shoot more than like 4 or
It's
5.
not murder. It's called inoculation. Thank you very much.
They can probably get you out of trouble, but you're supposed to be making nice with the High Shah. And
oh, right, diamonds. I forgot.
Yeah. And the guards are there. If you start shooting, they might start shooting back, and they can.
I've seen what they're wearing. They're using like.
Have any long-term consequences, but like, do you really want the?
Aren't they using like 1600 style? They're using 1600 style muskets or something like that.
They have Martini Henrys, or something equivalent to that. So single shot, but like rifled barrel. So fairly accurate, and they.
Well, if the redcoats are coming, I'll let them know that we're in danger. Oh no.
Yeah. So they have rifles in the barrel and cartridge loading, but it's single shot, so it depends on how good the guards are at reloading.
I sure hope our laser, our rifles, our bolters, can match up to 16th century technology. Gosh, this will be a tough one.
I believe Finnick has the last pistol, right? Or do you have a bolt gun now?
No, it's the last pistol.
There you go. Hellgun though, so good one. Emperor's flashlight.
It's not a Hellgun. No, it's just a last pistol.
Really, you never got the. Okay.
No.
So, they're sending Harmon and Adronia and not Dr. Keynes and plus they're gonna send one extra medic just in case and one like a med tech level. And do you want anyone else? Do you want soldier backup? I think Dr. Verbank's already down there, but I probably could send you with a few other soldiers if you want.
I think we can handle these guys. We'll be fine.
True, but Marmon and Adronia get a say on who they want with them too.
Adronia has a flamethrower. She'll be fine.
They wanted anyone else because they're loading up the shuttle. Whoever flying the shuttle gets their pick of NPCs they want in case of trouble.
Okay. Well, then why are you asking me what Adronia wants?
She wanted to know if there's anyone you wanted them to send to.
I'm good,
so we're
thank you.
not getting the doctor.
No, you are getting the doctor. She's
we
just
are.
not officially
Great.
doctor because she was forced to drop out of med school because her brother got involved with anti-imperial forces. But they turned on
Stop! You hear Johan? Stop! Don't tell. We don't need their backstory. We don't know that, and we don't need to know it. Stop!
Time, to be fair,
we're all hearing this on the intercoms. You know that, right?
Possibly. Yeah. So yeah, not Dr. Kane
I
shows
think.
up. And her bag of meds and another med tech traveling along behind her.
I think if we are making nice, bringing more soldiers might put them on edge.
There is
So
that.
I think what we have is good.
That's a thought. All right. Just the 4 of you. 3 of you then. 4 of you then. All right. All right. sending you down after the diplomatic, and I think that's all the flyers we have. So good. We can teleport you back. I know you were experimenting with a thing to teleport people down. I'm less than certain, but I trust you if it works. But take a homing beacon, and she hands you a small beacon. That one will let you, if any of you need to teleport back to the ship, it will let you do so. You cannot teleport down, but you can teleport back. This was a conceit to.
So how does that work, Lee? Is it like a Star Trek kind of teleportation, or
kind of? It flops you. It's from the Dark Age of technology, which is why it's most people don't quite know how to it works. This one's old. It is from before the Emperor began the process of reunifying humanity, so it is old. That's why a lot of tech priests, not Adronia specifically, but Janthine and a few others were like, when the Adeptus Mechanicus found their way onto the, were rescued because of by the Rogue Trader because of reasons I won't get into because I know you don't want too much backstory. You were asked, hey, you should stay on this ship because it has a teleporter, and that's a rare relic from before the Dark Age of technology, and it's super, you should have someone on, extra tech priests on board. Which is part of the reason you have so many explorators on board.
See, you're mistaken in that Johann isn't against backstories. He's against backstories that aren't related to the people that he's with. He doesn't care about the baker's backstory. Doesn't care.
Okay.
Doesn't want to hear.
You don't care about the donut maker's backstory?
I mean,
I thought he was really important, but
yeah, he makes donuts.
That's true.
Do you need to know about the horrible events of his childhood that led to him making donuts and putting his heart and soul into the quality? And
it symbolizes.
I think it enhances the flavor.
It symbolizes the circle of life.
It's the tears. It's the secret ingredient.
Tears.
Good secret ingredient.
Yeah.
Add a little
Taste tears in this one.
But yeah, there's no giraffe meat in it, but that's a whole other. But yes, you guys go down, along with they're sending 2 boxes full of donuts. Because of Johann's propensity for them, Stubbs continuously make sure there are plenty. And you're all on the ship, and flyer going down. Roll a piloting check. It's pretty basic. The town square is not. They've kind of cordoned off most of it with barricades. The local sheriff, Joseph Krasinski, is the local sheriff, and he has been actually kind of competent, sort of, in putting together the. Considering.
Krasinski?
I rolled a 55.
Okay. And you have piloting. Let me open. I have the character sheets here. Let me see.
Kind of dicey.
No.
Yeah.
It's on agility, I believe. Yes. So what's your agility?
It's a high total of 31.
Oh, we're gonna die.
No.
No.
About to come barreling in on y'all.
Not necessarily. Okay, Janthine.
Not if I'm aiming to land near y'all.
Flamethrower team.
Crashing, maybe.
There's your target.
You definitely
shoot it down.
You
Shoot it
definitely
down.
have you definitely have more bonus. Yeah. So okay, agility, and then you have pilot, navigation, pilot space. Yeah, pilot flyer, agility. So that's a +10. So yes, that would be a 41. Yeah, you might.
Yeah.
Yeah. That the worst fail.
Yeah, you might want to just leave the flamethrower out while you still can.
Hang on.
Only like 1 degree of failure.
Hang on, no. Though to be fair, it was probably not a hard. Like it probably would have gotten. Because challenging is +0, right? And routine is. There is a table for this. I never remember where it is, and
I wasn't able to
find it. Give me a minute, I'll look it up.
Love crunchy games.
Okay,
There's a table for everything.
Oh, there absolutely is.
There is. A lot of tables. But the challenge level is +0 is challenging, so it's not particularly hard. So there would probably have been a bonus, almost certainly on a basic trip down.
What difficulty would you call this?
I would need a 14 bonus.
Well, probably.
Well, if it's routine is a +20.
Yeah, there
so
you go. Yeah, routine, and then challenging is 0, and then uber easy is like +30. It's the highest you can.
It goes all the way to trivial at +60.
I feel like at that point, yeah. Why? Okay.
And it goes in the opposite direction all the way down.
Why have a pilot
at -60? So
yes,
there's
that's
that
true.
too.
It's definitely not trivial, but it's definitely routine. I would say almost certainly. Yeah, if you have a check that hard, you got to do. That's a stupendous one. But yes, I would absolutely say that there is it's a routine. It's nothing particularly difficult, and you're going, and all the the routes. They've told you about it, and they've already cleared the landing spot. So I would say routine would be, yeah, it's close. I would say this though.
So he crumpled the landing gear, is what you're saying.
A little bit, and he kind of jagged, and it is kind of janky, but it does, and it like skims up to the barricade, and it's an inch away, and then it stops, and then 2 centimeters away.
Stops with a lurch. You kind of like hit into the seatbelt and shake around a little bit.
But,
I'm just trying to make sure everyone's awake.
Hey Lee, where are our characters right now?
You guys are kind of standing next to the stage that the sheriff kind of put together, and then you got the high shots, big public diplomatic meeting. They brought the high shot out in a motorcade for a public meeting, which might not have been the best idea, but they decided that was the plan. So you have them, and your diplomats had come down on the second shuttle. Do
you remember who all of us were on the stage? I believe Johan was down on the ground.
Right.
I was up there, but like behind. I wasn't seated with the delegation.
Right. You were there close enough so that you could have brain-to-brain communications, act as living human relay, because that's kind of what astropaths tend to do. Are you wearing your official green hood?
No.
Is it official green hood?
Yes.
What does that mean?
No. I'm wearing my carapace. So
you don't have the green hood that goes over the carapace?
Do we all get an official colored hood?
No.
Be like the Power
See, that'd be a
Rangers?
lot of work.
Okay.
And everybody who needs to know me knows me. So
that's fair. No, the Adeptus, the Astra Telepathica has the outfit for their psychers because unsanctioned psychers are in fact highly illegal, because without the soul bond with the Emperor, it is much higher chance that you turn into a demon host and kill everyone around you. So there is a huge crackdown on it, and being an unsanctioned witch is like, yeah.
Sanctioned witch.
Yeah, sanctioned is, if you got the Emperor's seal of approval and years
it's
of training with the Astra Telepathic,
marginally less likely that I'll become a demon host and kill everyone. So
yeah, I mean you've had years of training, and the official.
I'm glad we have a less likely chance.
You went before the Emperor himself and like merged your souls and everything. It's a whole.
So, am I an apprentice then? Because I've been a host to a demon.
Oh, we're temporarily possessed. Maybe don't tell the Inquisition that. It got it out. So you got that one out. It wasn't a native host, the same way a psychic. It got in through a Gellerfield glitch instead of through someone Psyker's brain, so it's a different thing. Maybe don't tell the Inquisition.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, just maybe don't mention the Inquisition. You're probably okay, but given the nature of the demon, it got out of you real quick, because Slaaneshi demons, if you can tempt them with something, they you can banish them, but
I did all those donuts. You like all that sugar coursing through my body. He was like,
that and the box of
the box of
needles,
or that, but
yeah,
I prefer to think the donut.
Yes. But anything that causes sensation. All right. So you guys get out. You would and you come over. Yeah. So Finnick, you're up on there with your Rollis Wexender, who is your he actually, you would know that the two of you were the first two members of the crew. Captain Helmshield Sr. sent you two when he gave the ship over to his daughter. He was like, you two, go and make this happen. It's like, we need good people. And so he's up there, and you have several guards with the distinctive bright blue uniforms, and they have the fancy feathers in their their turbans too. Yes, the fancy feathers. You have him and I believe one other. Actually, should have written down. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Oh, Andre. You had already sent a medic named Andre down with you. And Sergeant Bernstein. No, Sergeant Verline. Sorry, Bernstein is a crime lord on a different planet.
Well, was fun though.
Yeah, that would have been a whole other thing. Anna Verbank. That's your sergeant, who is. Yeah. So you sent her and the medic and 3 seneschal types. So Ramos Waxender, who's the seneschal, he has 2 assistants up on the stage with him, and then Finnick, and I believe Sergeant Verbank is like a security. You had the medic who's standing down with Johan, and Jan Themes with Johan, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so you're kind of there. And you see the ship come through, and they send. You see Harmon come out, and you see Adronia, who is another tech priest who is with the captain. You two have met before. You're 2 tech priests on the same ship. You're collaborating on tech stuff. So you know all the tech priests on the ship, the full-on tech priests. They've also sent Elowen Keynes and another member, someone you vaguely recognize as, oh yeah, that's one of the medics on the ship, who's kind of like someone they send to fetch injured patients back to sickbay, kind of carrying it. Both of them are carrying medical supplies in case of trouble. And they are here.
I'm going to give Harmon a big thumbs up for his landing.
Yeah, I'll just wave back at him like, oh yeah.
Adronia just like shakes her head slightly.
Yeah. You also notice that Adronia has 2 boxes with her.
For what?
Just wanted to
Foxes?
Boxes. And
Oh.
a flamethrower too.
Yeah, 2 foxes.
Yeah,
It's gonna be part of her
back,
flamethrower trick.
2 boxes in a row.
No, 2 boxes is in like about yay big.
Yeah, they're donut boxes, right?
They are not boxes.
I know.
Nah,
I could smell them.
Could
I think
teach one
Adronia
of the
just walks straight
doctors
up,
to cook
to
donuts, too.
Johan.
Oh, my
Homemade
heroine.
donuts.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And he takes the boxes most appreciatively. Are these new people hooked up to the mind link?
No, not necessarily. Who's in the mind link? Because Finnick, you have control.
Those who are, I've got a maximum number that I can do.
Right.
Those that were part of the delegation I got, and I had one other. I don't think it was Johan. It was somebody else on the ground though. I don't remember who was sitting where, so
Yeah,
sorry.
Three,
I have that written down.
diplomats. You have Anna Verbank, who's sergeant, and that's 4. And then you, that's 5. What's your max?
I will tell you in just a second here.
Okay.
Well, we'll just form our own mind link then. That'll show them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
No,
just put our
no
heads together.
celiac mind link.
See
Which
Finnick?
is
Or is he hidden?
Who?
Does Adronia see Finnick or is he hidden?
Yeah, and Vinnick's standing up there on the stage, kind of
Five.
back a little bit, like he's kind of the kind of like trying to be unobtrusive, not like invisible or anything. Just
I'm not hiding. I'm standing.
Would I know if it would be a bad idea if I sent Overbite kind of around to hover like next to / behind him?
You would know that Finnick probably the servo skulls are all kicking around. He probably wouldn't be like entirely freaked out by having a servo skull kind of come up. They're throughout the Imperium. It's
then
in if you grow up on a planet that has any kind of tech level, then servo skulls are no big deal.
Great. She'll send that over just because they're a little separated in case he needs to say anything.
So
servo skull comes flying up
now, and all of the party on the ship. That there's another. They might be like, wait, we have another tech priest come down, but they're Kato's probably already around somewhere.
Wait,
I would guess.
Adronia, before you send it, does it have any like hooks or things that with service hooks on it?
Hooks?
Hooks, yeah.
Service hooks on it?
These are great questions. It with a hook.
I mean, like, it doesn't even have to be specifically meant to be a hook, but something that could be hook-like.
It has a mouth.
It does have a mouth. It has the little Vox speaker and the camera eye bit that goes right over where the socket, and then all the surgery inside the cranium with the last vestiges of the brain, because otherwise that means it's not AI. If it had a, if it has a tiny bit of human brain in it, it's not AI. It has a soul, which means it can't rise up and destroy everything.
I'm going to open up my box and take out one of the donuts, and I'm going to find a place to place it on the servo skull so that it can bring Phoenix a donut, because he's probably starving up there, bored to death, listening to these guys talk, and he might need a little sugar, a little energy.
Yeah,
I think Adronia would take the donut, just slot it in the servo skull's mouth. Just kind of like close the jaw a little bit so it's a little squished and send him.
I mean, I would balance gently on top, but yeah. So yeah, the only thing is the high Shaws might not have seen servo skulls because they don't have a lot of tech on this planet. So, but Kato did come down with the main crew, so.
Well, they would have seen him approaching, right?
They would have seen you guys come out of the shuttle, and they would have seen the skull. Then they'd probably have recognized, it's with them. They're a little miffed by it, but.
Welcome to the future, primitive humans, where we have servo skulls.
Yeah.
Comes flying up next to me. It's just a little bit higher, and I'm just like, I'll take the donut off. Sorry.
Yeah, you now have a donut. Delivered via servo skull.
And I'll give Phoenix a thumbs up.
That's what the sounds they make unless you're indirectly engaging the Vox speaker to play pre-recorded tones.
I'll also give a donut to any of our crew who's within arm's reach. So if
I absolutely need a donut. I recalibrated my masticator and neuro stimulator. Hopefully, it's going to taste like donuts this time.
Oh, it's not going to taste like meat this time?
I hope not. That was really disturbing.
I won't say about how.
Then you.
Okay. But yeah, it tastes donut.
Well, so much for the meat donut, then. I guess we better get some other ones.
Yeah, add a little. Anyway, the donuts on Balboa are a thing. I will just say, but yeah, you get yourself pretty good donuts. Basic powdered sugar. Stubbs makes them by the hundreds because the crew likes them, and honestly,
as this is right.
Yeah. So, I have donuts just over there. Okay. Yeah. So after after a minute, after about like a good half hour, there starts to be muttering. The crowd kind of dissipates as they realize this is going to be like a protracted negotiation, and they're kind of speaking quietly. The crowd kind of dissipate.
So they get bored, is what you're saying?
A little bit, yeah.
That's why we had the flamethrowers. Aren't we supposed to be performing? Keep their attention.
Run another flamethrower performance.
Yeah.
While they're
Atronia is not.
You don't want to be in on this?
Starts lighting people on fire and
Just wanted
everything.
like a little bit back, keeping an eye on things. You guys perform if you want to.
Yeah, they had. Let's see, how many troopers did you have? You had.
we
you had
had-
Nolan. Nolan is like the flame trooper guy. When they
That's
sent him
like
down
5,
to
right?
rescue Johan, was really upset because he didn't get the flamethrower anyone because they rescued him before it became relevant. And you got, and then you got the other troopers who usually don't wield flamethrowers but have them now. But yeah, you can send them out to do like another pass, and sometimes people, you get people coming in and people are, and there are a few news reporters essentially. Especially they have pictures. They don't have film yet, but they do.
They don't have film.
They do have a couple of like high setup cameras that are, they take a while. They're old school. So they're setting up tripods and stuff, but they do have a couple of people with them who are coming out because this is historic, like
They use the gunpowder flash.
Yeah, old school.
Johan's looking at these guys like, and he looks over at Janthe and he's like, "These are the guys who have all these diamonds."
Well, they don't.
The universe is the cruel place. That's all I'm saying.
Well, they don't have the industrial need for the diamonds just yet, so they have an excess of these diamonds. We need them for our semiconductor production and industrial use, but they don't have that yet, so
True.
They don't need them.
There you
go. Well, since they don't need them, I guess they won't mind if we borrow them.
There is a
permanently.
little bit of tension because they had realized that diamonds were valuable and high that. So when and it was kind of when they first started mining the planet, it was known. So, and now that the kind of technology has kind of fallen back a little bit and people don't realize they have all the tech, they still understand that diamonds are highly valuable, but they kind of dedicate them to the Emperor because it's like there's the oral traditions of how the planet was founded with the Emperor. There's the traditions of the planet, which was there were people on the planet from long, long ago who had some oral traditions about how they were created. But
wait, do we know all this, or is this just backstory?
You know some of this. Actually, you guys could do research. What you do know is that
intelligence check.
Yeah, you want to go through what you might have learned about this planet at one point.
Harmon, I'm going to task you with doing an interpretive dance performance of this planet's history for us, please, later, so that we can all be informed about how technology works here.
A diplomat, a pilot,
I can do my best.
An interpretive dancer.
So for some reason, I have pantomime as a skill.
Oh, well.
Hey, there you go. Yeah, it's if your Vox breaks down and you need to do hand signals to try and explain something, you're really good at getting the hand signals right. That's what pantomime is.
Okay.
Now we know who can.
And there we go.
It's more for the hand signs and learning sign languages, essentially that sort of thing.
Okay.
Does that translate into shadow puppets?
And it would certainly boost. But what skills do you have knowledge-wise? Dronia, what do you got?
Great question. I have a lot of intelligence ones. There's tech, machine cult, arcanotech, adeptus mechanicus, literacy, logic, tech use, technomat, and then just the languages.
No,
I don't think so.
I have 4.
Does not seem to be a lore one.
Dang it. Yeah, because common lore Imperium would be, or scholastic lore Imperial history would be the kind of thing that this would.
Would literacy allow me to have read something before, potentially?
You know what? I will let you make a slightly -10 literacy, -10 level literacy check. So you're at -10 and. So it's whatever your intelligence, or no, it's intelligence +10 and then -10 because it's actually hard.
So just intelligence.
Just intelligence, yeah.
Okay.
+10 and -10 even out your.
22.
Oh, on the dice, that's good. What's your
really good.
46.
That's 2 degrees of success. Okay.
I also have literacy and a 52 intelligence.
Do you want to make a roll?
Ooh, no.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought I was smart. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
I got 30.
okay.
So
a degree of
so that's
success.
also 2 degrees.
Yeah. Oh, so it is.
We read the same
you guys
book.
Have been
Yeah.
Because you have some library access on the ship. You actually have a lot of random cultural. You have some fun stuff in the ship's library. But in this day and age, you can store a couple terabytes on a. Heck, you guys probably have 4 terabyte extra drives. At least 5 or 6 terabytes worth of storage in your external mounted drives. So you can have access on the ship's library to a lot of things. So you did some digging. The ship, there was a bunch of warp storms, and so essentially this planet was colonized in the Dark Age of technology and left to its own devices until the Great Crusade. Actually, it was well after the Great Crusade when they realized the Adeptus Mechanicus had a ship come, and they're like, it was. Hang on, I have to go look at the history, but it was within the 32, 32nd, third millennium, long ago. For context, the 31st millennium was when the Emperor first emperored, and when all of the it came close. It was actually no. Applassia lore would be here on my list of relevant planets. We have a very long list of relevant planets.
I'm sure.
Let's see. That's not even a relevant planet. That's just including that one hasn't. Okay, Applassia. Here we go. 32nd millennium. Okay, so 32nd millennium. Oh yeah, no, it was settled in the 32nd millennium specifically, by the Adeptus Mechanicus Spedler ships after well after the heresy thing had settled and everyone was the Imperium was more or less solid. But before the Age of Apostasy, when all that nonsense happened, which, trust me, Age of Apostasy is not a fun time. Yes. So there were records, and you actually find out because the Squidvark, Captain Helmshold's brother, actually did a lot of one of his guys had stumbled across this research and realized, oh, it's been cut off by warp storms. There is this record of this planet that no one's contacted for a few millennia. That happens sometimes. If the warp gets really bad around a planet, you can't get through, and no one can get on or out of in or out of the system, and it's just there's only so much you can do with that, and you just kind of have to let it ride it out for a couple hundred years and hope nothing bad happens in the meantime. If that's a hive world, it gets really ugly because they rely so much on imports to feed massive populations. But Applassia was not a hive world. It was a mining world. So they did have a bunch of myths about the Emperor, and you actually find the report that Captain Helmsholt, the other Captain Helmsholt, whose name I have written down somewhere, did. And there was a missionary that he left, and whose name I do actually know. It's Arbitel al-Muhammad, priest of the Ecclesiarchy. Yes, and you actually met with him. He is actually in the city right now. He's around. You guys were told about him. But yeah, you've looked up at this report because you guys had some time in transit, and you're like, Applassia, hang on. So you found some old records. Let's see. It does have a lot of mineral deposits, diamonds especially, but also stuff like cobalt and iron, magnesium, and yes. And you came in. There was a single satellite, which I did tell you about. I believe the satellite that Why is that? Okay. That was their
contacted us when we came into the system. Yeah.
Yeah. So they had a small crew of a handful that came through, and you had that. But basically, it's from what you've gathered about Applassia, it wasn't anything fancy. It was a small settlement organization. There were a handful. They came from like 3 different hive worlds. They basically got a bunch of like mining specialists and people who wanted off hive worlds, blopped them together, and then it was about half people who knew what they were doing and half just what is it? Huddled masses yearning to breathe free, I think is the term. Just whoever wanted on, and then a small percentage of people who wanted in because of various reasons and had connection to the right people. Those were kind of a power play. There was one imperial family, imperial noble family that got a bunch of their people on because they were allowed a certain amount of settlement rights because they had a deal with the Adeptus Mechanicus. But they all got sent. This was what was it, 32nd millennium. So this was 8,000 years ago. And you find some settlement records, but not much else. And you find notes from Father Al-Muhammad, who was the priest of the ecclesiarchy who got left behind, who took some notes. You find his journal that he had sent along with the letter explaining, hey, there's this planet full of diamonds if you want to do something with that. Basically, he said that they had their local myths were that the Emperor was too powerful for humans to see. That was how it was explained to them, and or how they kind of came to it. And they had his Titans. There's an old tale about the Emperor, the Grand Emperor, who was beyond all emperors, who was so powerful no human could see him, sent his Titans to come and bring and save the planet from darkness and bring life and humans to it. So you're thinking maybe Space Marines, based on the old myths, but that were there at some point. There were Space Marines there at some point, or some sort of the Titan Legion maybe, but there's no official record of that. There is a mention in one obscure like Ultramarine successor chapter that might mention of the Applassia, but there's barely a paragraph or two, and it doesn't say anything other than they sent 3 squads there. They mentioned like a Battle of Applassia was an easy victory and hardly worth the honor rolls. So there were some Space Marines that fought there, but it was so routine whatever they dealt with that they didn't even bother writing it down. So in terms of that, that's it. That's all you've got. You have settled 32nd millennium.
Sick.
Couple Space Marines from a minor successor chapter were there at some point and didn't bother writing down what they faced because it wasn't worth talking about, and they've been on their own for thousands of years, and they've kept the oral tradition of the Emperor going, but they have separated, and the political reality now, from what you can gather, is that there are several countries, but they've sort of formed a loose alliance to kind of and agreed to, they kind of formed a loose alliance. Now they realize that the Emperor himself, Emperor beyond all emperors, who's so powerful, they have a giant statue of him, which is a vague likeness, like pretty close.
Didn't we destroy that?
No, you didn't destroy it. Yet. I'm not saying you won't, but that's a bad there's... Do you really want to do that?
We were going to give him a better one, because that one was like a primitive one.
I mean, it was 600 feet tall. And
yeah, but you're talking about guys who were using flash photography, are building a 600-foot statue. You know it's going to look like a stick man.
I mean...
Hear me out. We give them a better one and let them choose. Or just give them both.
That's true. You could commission a better statue of the Emperor. True. You do know artists. You don't have any on board, mind you.
Ours is the best. Then we tear it down.
There you
Because
go.
they will. Of course.
Yeah, I mean, you can commission. There are planets that specialize in statues of the Emperor. You can absolutely go to one and get yourself the best statue possible and present it as a gift to the people of Applassia in exchange for their loyalty, as a symbol.
And diamonds.
You can do some fun things with that. But Finnick, something comes through from Marlis Wexhinder.
Okay.
We've reached a bit of negotiation, but we're going to have to get them to start paying the Imperial tithe, right? What else do we want besides the diamonds? Is there anything else I should be asking for? Anything other than diamonds and almost certainly the Imperial tithe? Anything we need them to provide?
Nope.
That passes through to Finnick. I don't know if Johan's in the loop or not. You never tell me the
Oh.
maximum.
At the same time,
five.
My maximum is 5.
Oh,
I did come back with that.
You have full max.
We do have a microbead, so
Yeah,
I mean,
so you can pass.
and with me kind of standing further back, it wouldn't be that
Yeah,
to
you
just
kind
kind
of
of
mutter
say
quietly,
something. So.
mention Johan.
There's also Overbite next to you.
Yeah, that's true. So you can
You can transmit
the servo
messages.
Skull, you can send him along with whatever info.
But
Yeah, kind of.
I will use the microbead, considering anyone else down here is also going to be linked into that network.
True.
So
Yeah, you do have
including those that recently came down on the shuttle.
True. Would be would almost certainly have set up the Vox links immediately. That's your first.
And I'll say,
yes.
Are there any other valuables on this planet that we're looking to attain? Do they have any other production exports, anything that we're looking to get our hands on?
Iron, cobalt, and magnesium. All are useful.
And what do they need? What do they want to trade for?
Beads and feathers, I believe.
Well, like being brought.
They want a couple servo skulls.
Johan,
wants.
Johan, you're stereotyping, and it's not appreciated.
They're also being brought into the Imperial fold, which of course grants them in all of the protections and rights that any other Imperial planet would gain.
That's true. They do have now access to Imperial, benefits, but they also have to pay the Imperial tithe, which means they're gonna have to provide soldiers at some point. If there's any kind of trouble in the general vicinity, they're gonna need to provide soldiers. Or at the very least, weapons or something. But generally, with a low manufacturer place like this, they've got really good. They got knives and stuff, but that's useful. But you really, if you can't manufacture las guns, you have to send soldiers.
Don't think knives are all that useful. Their 16th century knives are going to do much against orcs.
Hey, is this planet united under a single government, or are
no?
they
The High Shah has kind of created a loose alliance. Let's see, I have notes on this too. Main settlement hub. Spiraled out from the mining sites. Okay, yes. So there's sub kingdoms. Let's see. Tribute. Okay, there are 3 tribute states. Used to be under his control, but broken off. Maintain close political ties. There's also a few small outposts, mining outposts that don't have don't really fall under any government, that are just kind of doing their own thing.
What I'm wondering are the different political entities. Is there conflict at the moment?
No, they'd been kind of in a state of relative peace, and the High Shah has 5 sub kingdoms, and then there's the 3 states that used to be tribute states that still have close political ties. So they have a fair set variant.
Yeah, I was just something I was wondering is if he's wanting these weapons and stuff to wage war against his neighbors, but it sounds like more of like a planetary defense.
Yeah, well, they haven't asked for weapons yet.
They want servo skulls.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mostly
Which,
because
to be fair,
he saw
cool.
Kato and Overbite and thought they were cool and was like, "Hey, can I have a Servo Skull too?" And
As you should.
your Seneschal promised him at least 5 because and with a possibility of getting shipments of more. So
Isn't this going to be like an example of technology gone bad, where why you don't send advanced technology to, because the servos soon this planet's going to be run by servo skulls.
Nah, they'll be fine.
Can servoscopes be possessed?
it's not impossible, but when they're on the planet in real space and not within the warp,
not really.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's the question I was going to. You know, all this technology we're giving to them, can they deal with a demonic possession?
Well, no, which means you're going to have to get the black ship compliance as well.
Okay.
Because you are going to have to enforce black ship compliance. Absolutely. Father Muhammad has been doing that a bunch because he's been trying to get that going because, you know, there are natural born latent psychers, you know, kicking around in any human population, some more than others. And if left to do their own devices, they'll probably kind of some of them will burst and figure out their powers innately, and then you're probably fine until they're not. That's the problem.
Until they're not.
Yeah, until something in the warp gets their curls its claws into your psyche, and then you don't have the Emperor like looking over your shoulder, keeping you safe, and you don't have the training, and you don't have the the litanies, and you don't have the backup for the Emperor in your it gets ugly. But yeah, luckily a lot of cultures fear the witch and have similar reactions to various human societies throughout history, where people with weird powers have been shunned and mobbed and had a lot of nasty things happen to them. It does have the unfortunate but true side benefit of keeping unsanctioned psychers a little bit protected, or protecting everyone else from unsanctioned psychers, but the psychers themselves are adrift and don't get a chance at the proper training, and it's a ugly situation. But if you have black ship compliance, you can ship them off to Terra, and assuming they make it through the program and don't get sacrificed halfway through, which
run through the corpse grinder for the throne.
Yeah.
Is it 10,000 a day?
Something like that.
Only 1,000 a day. Only 1,000 a day.
1,000.
Only
Okay.
1,000. That's a low ball estimate. Okay.
Yeah, but the thing about that is that they needed to maintain the Astronomicon, and if you don't have the Astronomicon, anyone on a you have the entire hive worlds who rely on being able to get ships in and out for export, and nobody gets ships in and out for export. Any Xenos, anyone who wants to take down the Imperium, which is a lot of people, they can't move Imperial troops in to protect them. They can't do any of that, and way more. It's one of those things.
Anyway,
Johan has thoroughly enjoyed this conversation. Now he's ready to shoot someone.
Yeah, you guys do notice Johan getting a little angsty. But yeah, you guys, it's been several hours, and they've come to a sort of they're gonna sign a treaty. It's gonna include black ship compliance and a clause if there is a war. Now, usually Imperial tithes required more, but they're giving you like a at least 80 years of a break on the Imperial tithe unless there's a war, specifically there's a lot of wars, unless this is why it's Warhammer, unless they need specifically for this sector, this particular subsector. If there's no conflict within this particular subsector that requires troops, they don't have to do any soldiers for 80 years. They've come to that agreement.
Yeah.
They've also you get exclusive trade rights. They want servo skulls, and they want a few other things that they have. They have a farmer contingent. They want seeds, is what they want.
They want what?
seeds. They had the High Shah has the farmer contingent kind of on his ass about certain things. There's a very high, powerful agricultural lobby in this kingdom, and they have been pushing him. So he's trying to get in with them. And one thing he can do is he can promise them new crops that they have never seen before. Which, I mean, yeah, you have access to. You probably have.
Hypothetically.
Yeah.
Hypothetically,
Mm-hmm.
I know of a handful of unique and interesting plants from my home world that theoretically we could
get
seeds for to land.
You could. Are you, not like the
they would be getting what they're asking for technically.
Yes.
What invasive species? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I know. Like
invasive species is one way to put it. I'm from a death world, so it's
lichen is really hard to get seeds. You can't get seeds on lichen. Lichen is one of those types of life forms I've found out through random learning things on the internet. The lichen is actually really hard to spore. Like it's all clones, and no one has kind of been able to grow it from scratch. Nobody has ever been able to figure out how to get lichen to grow from scratch.
The lichen, maybe not. There's a lot of other plants on that planet.
Yeah, there are some interesting ones to find.
It's not just seeds, but in our real world, high nitrogen fertilizer wasn't invented until like early 20th century. Yeah. I don't know if they even have that yet.
Do they know to ask for it? That's the question. Is if they don't have that technology, that built, they don't realize that they probably could double their crop yields if they got this stuff. They don't know that it exists.
Yeah, so we need to offer that as well.
That's a thought. Do we want to offer that as well, or do we want to offer that instead of?
Instead of what?
Instead of seeds.
They need both.
Well, I mean,
they should probably get both.
They have, it started out as wheat. What they have, they brought the settlers from the first brought seeds to grow wheat. And but it has crossbred, it is like mutated and crossbred with local population, and they have a new grain that they grow. That's their usual. Crops weren't as good as usual this year, but they're doing okay. And that's kind of why the agricultural lobby, but they're doing okay. There were several crops that did fail, though. Several vegetable crops did fail, and there's a lot of friction because of that. I have to make this.
Offer both.
Yeah.
And then do we add anything else that we get in return for giving them nitrogen
do you want,
fertilizer?
Anything other than diamonds is the question. They do use iron. They have iron and such. That they do
I was gonna
mine and use for themselves.
Ask if tech priests. Sorry, you go first.
I was gonna ask because like these guys are a little bit further back in tech. I don't know if they have any like promethium or that kind of thing, or if they even know what that would be.
I doubt that they know anything about rare earth elements at all.
True, but they might be able to learn. You might be able to like.
We could put it into the deal that we would have a survey team brought down to determine what they actually have available and use that as part of.
It's true.
You get what I'm saying?
Like,
yeah. They
potentially get
mention that they have a group that has that has been mining. You find out secondhand. This is basic preliminary stuff that you're gonna, because it's kind of, they're gonna do a basic preliminary, and then you can hash out, essentially. So you want a survey team to come down and figure out what they've got that they might not be using, stuff like magnesium that they're probably not using for any. Well, they probably use magnesium, but like stuff that they might not be using, that they might have not discovered a use for, but they might have that the Imperial Industrial Machine really wants. You want the diamonds. You want basic black ship compliance, and Imperial. Yeah, that. What else? What else do you want? Because that's the question, is what else do you want? Survey team, black ship compliance, Imperial membership, they had put in the clause about the soldiers, the 80-year gap on the tithe, which will come due eventually. You're putting in, which you have the authority as rogue traders to allow for.
What's the population of the planet?
Population. I need to do a little bit of math. Give me a sec.
Okay, no worries. I'm asking because, giving them all this plants and fertilizers probably going to give them a nice population boom, which would increase their ability to tithe.
Also, if we did want to do the emperor statue thing, perhaps after the survey is done, if there are materials that we would enjoy having, have access to those as well. Do we need food? Do we have plenty of food on the rogue trader ship?
Yeah. We're
cool.
we're stopped.
Food is still a commodity that we can trade with other planets, though.
True.
We basically restock everywhere we go.
Also, Lee, I think you might be muted.
I am muted. Good call. I kind of assume that every time you stop at a reasonably, you're picking up at, retail prices, whatever stuff you need. Like you're picking up flour, you're picking up basic staples, you're picking up.
Yeah.
You do have the ability to make corpse starch on ship if you want. Soylent Viridian. You can make Soylent Viridian on your ship.
Mom used to make.
Oh no.
Yeah, I mean, Renthok, the fried rat brain dipped in Soylent Viridian is a delicacy on Renthok that people who argue about whose side makes it the best. That is
it all tastes like.
We haven't had any tunnel scraped, so
it all tastes like steak to me.
But yes,
perhaps you should get that fixed.
That's true. You have and you have, of course, the nutrient paste you can get. It's
delicious.
It is. Well, you can make it taste like anything because you can hack your taste buds. So
let's go.
But you have a worst case scenario. Unaugmented humans can survive on nutrient paste, and you have enough for a couple of years worth of, if things worst comes to worst. It's but yeah, I'm assuming you're picking up fresh this and that. On most planets, if you're gonna be there, because you do stop at a lot of fairly industrial. You went to what's the one? Kulsok. I'm sure. You probably sent people down to do grocery runs. On this planet, haven't yet, but
Then, does the diplomat want to suggest anything?
Harmon, yeah. You're not so much diplomat as expert on the ship who's super high charisma, the highest fellowship score of any of the characters. Yeah, essentially that's he's party face more than that. But
his being such a good talker is the reason that we haven't booted him from being a pilot after all of his missteps.
Is it higher than 44? What you got for
52.
fellowship?
And
okay.
When I was giving you because I'd already agreed to let him have Harmon, and then you were like, "Well, I want the highest fellowship." I'm like, "How would Harmon?"
I just was looking for a gap to fill. I didn't even know what fellowship was before I started playing this.
Yeah.
Don't worry, my piloting skills I need below 31. So
you need high charisma.
You get the 10 plus 10 bonus because you have trained skill.
You need high charisma to come up with excuses for your piloting skills.
Yeah, I can talk a good talk while crashing us. Don't worry.
No, that wasn't a bad landing at all. That was perfect.
I meant to do that. There's a whole. I have been known I did it on purpose for the plans of my own. Sorry, there's a song. Okay, focus. So, you are gathering things. Armin, is there anything you want to put on the list of potential trade stuff? Do you want to put anything on the list of useful things that you think the planet could provide? You could put caveats. Like, you could put a caveat that they send 500 troops immediately right up into your ship, if you want.
What are caveats? I have never traded those before. Are those like a food product?
Caveat. It's a negotiation term. Okay.
Oh.
It's like caviar, but for negotiations, yeah.
Sure. But yeah, you could ask them for, and you could probably talk them into it too.
Do we need troops?
No, not necessarily. You have a handful.
Do we need troops who are used to shooting muskets?
Yeah, that also they'd have to be trained.
Yeah, but you also have. I mean, Johan, like there's something Johan to do in the time, in the weeks you have stuck in the war.
Yeah, no, I'm not training these idiots. No.
Well,
also,
you get
just having extra resources to trade later is always good.
Yeah. And
you would Johan, you'd get them after they go through basic training.
I would use them to form mission human shield.
That's true.
All right, guys, form a semicircle in front of me as they approach.
If you're gonna have that, you might as well give them like actual shields. Don't do them shield well.
Yeah. Actual shields cost money. These guys are.
But you could do that with thunder shields.
Oh, what thunder shield?
What are thunder shields?
It's no, storm shield. Sorry, storm shield.
Oh, I was gonna say, like, are you making up new stuff?
I'm just remembering terms. Having them have that with storm shields you could do something interesting with shield wall.
Storm shields are expensive. I would not trust these guys with that.
That's true. But it'd be cool. Okay, focus. Yes, you are. Yeah, they do. The high shot does want to send an emissary up with you. That's a sticking point. He does want to send an emissary up. And Finnick, you get in your head. I think we can take one more on board, right? Captain's not gonna be too upset if we send up with.
Yeah, that's agreeable. We can handle that.
Okay, just make sure I get the shots. Okay, and they. Yeah, so they signed the basic paperwork. You're providing 5 Servo skulls as a personal gift to the high shop, and different seed crops as to be delivered later. You don't have to deliver them right away. Plus Imperial, they're under the standard protection of the Imperium, which means you need to inform the relevant. But they've already kind of gotten some, and they're up to date on the Imperial Creed too. So you don't even have to do missionary work because they're mostly up to date anyway. And yeah.
Did you ever figure out the population of the planet?
Yes, about 200 million.
Oh, that's tiny.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
Yeah, it's not much at all.
Okay.
So far, but
how many flamethrowers do we have again?
not that many. A couple dozen extra for personal troops, not enough to supply the planet worth. Yeah. They also ask if you can cure a disease they call dyspepsia.
There are diseases here.
Yes, there are diseases. They have the usual array of any planet that has humans for any length of time. They're going to develop. There's going to be some little bacteria that figures out that you can infect humans and get way more spread, and it's a useful little tool because they spread it to each other.
So this test.
So this is a bacterial infection, not a viral.
They don't know.
Why don't we come up with a temporary cure that we put them through to stay feeding money off?
You're an evil man. You are an.
Oof.
Let me teach you about corporate capitalism.
Could, if you wanted. I mean, Dr. Kane, Ellen Keynes would be furious at you because her thing is she has actually made multiple vaccines for the crew, including one that was made by for a disease that was made by bioterrorists that were hired by enemies of the rogue trader, so of your particular rogue trader family. So there's that. Well, actually, they weren't hired by the. That's the interesting thing, is they were doing their own thing. They weren't hired by that one. They just hijacked one of his ships. Um, yeah, that happened. You still haven't figured out who hired those guys, but
We never knew that, so that's new information for us.
oh,
Cool.
what, that he hijacked the ship? You knew that. You went up and you talked to the captain, and the captain said that these guys had kidnapped his daughter and forced him to carry them to the ship. He worked for.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah,
never.
that guy. He told.
Yeah, we kind of.
Wow. Yeah, he went. Wow, you were in the hot zone for a while, and that's that was part of the deal with the. You were in the hot zone. Oh, and they also had, they were puppet mastering him with an evil psyker, and then there was an actual psyker who was there to, like like a low level, sanctioned, but like not that good. So he was just astropath level. There's dozens of them throughout the Imperium. That's the only faster than light communication the Imperium has is astropaths. So there are a bunch of like whole hordes of them who just.
Did I shoot him?
Messages.
You did.
Probably.
You did actually, but I kept him alive.
Yes.
He's more or less fine now.
Shoot him because they thought he was the bad guy psyker, and he did. Between Phoenix quick thinking and not terribly botched medicine check with Nurse Joy, it worked out, and
Nurse Joy.
Oh yeah, we had our latest biologist, tech priest, who was also the ship's doctor, had a servo skill who they called Nurse Joy, who is beeping around the ship somewhere.
Very cute.
Had to quit the game, but Nurse Joy is still canon. She's still around. She's bipping around somewhere. On the ship. But oh yes, so.
Well, see, this is why when you have uniforms so that you know who to shoot and who not to shoot.
He had an Aquila. He was wearing an Aquila.
Wow, what's an Aquila?
Aquila is okay.
Oh my god.
This is. Do not let the Inquisition know you do not know what an Aquila is. So, the symbol of the.
I don't know who the Inquisition are, so that's easy enough.
Aquila. That's the sign of the Aquila. It's kind of a cross between a salute and sign of the cross, kind of a one that people make as both a religious gesture and like, yes, I'm.
It's a two-headed eagle. It's a two-headed eagle.
Right. Yeah, it's two-headed eagle. One head is blindfolded, one head is not. It's usually done in gold or brown, but usually.
Okay, but that's not a uniform. That's a symbol that anyone could be using.
I put the Aquila in our Discord chat.
Beautiful.
He was wearing the proper robes, though. The psyker robes.
Was he wearing? Did he have? I think he had a green hood.
It has a bolter hole through it. How would I know?
He's more in the proper uniform than I am.
Yeah, but he had the Aquila is like if someone's wearing an American flag. Like, yes, someone could steal the symbol and pretend that they're using it, but it's your guy's symbol. It's like it's the symbol of.
But after I put a hole in it, how could I tell?
You shot the hole in it.
That's what I just said. After I put the hole in it, how can I tell?
Well, you're supposed to.
You're supposed to tell before you put the hole in something.
I mean, yes.
I was fighting terrorists. There was like a whole bunch of terrorists.
That's true. And
you'll get it next time.
I said I'll just shoot them all and let the Emperor sort it out. Come on.
Hi, Desmona. Okay. Okay. So.
They want the cure for the disease dyspepsia. Yes. Do we want something in return for this?
They. That's true. You could demand more.
If they want something, we're getting something else as well.
We're already getting diamonds and seed bank and their entire history library.
Oh, good.
It's not much, but
history.
You have access to any written records that they have. They have, as part of the Imperium, because they've agreed to join the Imperium. That means that they have to grant Imperial officials access to records within a reasonable degree. I mean, anything top secret, state secrets, they might be able to come an exemption for, but even that is like, no, we're the Imperium. You can't have state secrets from your liege lord. Like, no. Essentially. So yeah, you get access to all of. Now, granted, that's not much because it's the history of one planet, and any tech they have is probably already been in it. Some other Imperial already have the. But you never know. They could have an STC that they're keeping that they think is just some little, tchotchke.
I have a suggestion for a want. Why don't we say that we have the rights to create a spaceport of some sort, a real spaceport, so we're not landing our freaking planes in the middle, our ships in the middle of their town square.
Okay.
That's great.
You want a spaceport? Yeah. And is it?
That would also facilitate trade more. So
yes. They do have the satellite monitoring office that they've already set up. You could work there. It's a little bit outside. It's outside the technical borders of the High Shah's kingdom, simply because to avoid political nonsense, they actually do have that one set up, which you talk to the people in the political, in the spear monitoring. They were hired by the previous Captain Hemschel of the other one of the Squidvark. There are a number of ships in the fleet that you guys, but they're so spread out, and a lot of them have gone. Like one of them went past the Jericho Reach. Like you're not getting in contact with them anytime soon. But
and maybe develop a light rail system or something so it's easier to traverse this world.
The world.
So we're not having to, well, as much of it as we're allowed to.
I mean, you can do it by force if you want. You probably 200 million people. You probably have enough troops on. You can stage an invasion if you want and force them.
No, we don't need an invasion. I'm just saying it's part of our deal.
Oh, you want a light rail system on the planet?
Yeah, and that would benefit them as well for commerce.
Okay, so you want a spaceport. You want to build one. Now you're going to have to figure out how to do that because they don't have the tech or manpower.
I'm not building it. The Empire will do that. We're just setting it up for them. I'm not building it by hand.
Negotiate with the High Lords on that. That's going to be a whole.
That's for the other people to do. I'm the archmilitant. If they need someone shot,
Fireman's got it.
Yeah.
If they want a flamethrower display,
yeah,
I can help them out. But
true, none of you guys are. You guys do have political officers on your ship who deal more with that. Local sector command might be interested though. But then you can't let them tithe anything for 80 years because you've signed the agreement on that already. It's inked. They stuck the seal. So
you can upgrade a deal.
Yeah. So
and all this benefits them just as much as it would benefit us.
Okay, the deal. So you get diamonds, survey team, one diplomat. I'm putting it on your side. I don't know if it's kind of on their side.
That's what I wrote down during the exchange.
Seeds, 5 servo skulls. That's a personal present for the High Shah. You were sending. You're getting this imperial citizenship. Black ship compliance. I don't know if 80-year break on Tithe. I'm getting the diplomat. You're getting diamonds. You're getting the survey team. You're getting one of them's coming with you. And you get a spaceport. You said you want a spaceport.
Yes. And then the light rail?
Light rails? Okay, sure. So you get right to build. Okay. Okay, that's the thing though. Getting them built might require secondary dealing and complications. But you want right to build spaceport and light rails. Alright, I think that's all of it. So you sign. You can. He throws in a land grant too.
Yay!
Ooh.
So, settlement rights on for yeah.
So if we want to build a Helmshell palace,
you can build a palace. I mean, you could hypothetically break it into smaller parcels, and each of you gets a land grant. if you want for your own personal use. Now, granted, that's one per member of the crew, which is
large.
He does not know that. He doesn't realize how much that is, and you're probably not going to tell the rest of the crew that. But essentially, you can claim. You only each get one. So hypothetically, if you wanted to give it to say someone else, you could. For example, you could do Johan Johansson the 46th. He has a brother. His father realized. Well, actually, you were Johan Johansson the 46th at some point, but then you went back to the 45th, and then your father named your brother Johan Johansson to try to get him to have a son, so that maybe who also doesn't have a son. So yet that you know of, although you haven't spoken to your brother in a while. So
who knows?
Because he keeps trying to take my number. Screw him. This is my number.
He didn't get named. Actually, no. You were young when you got it switched down, so he wasn't born yet. Yeah, you got it switched down when you were like 10. But because you transitioned late in life and was, whatever. But that, But yeah.
And to be clear, that's not why I'm not talking to him. My Johan is very open with his he doesn't care if someone's trans or not.
Well, it was
he's
your grandmother.
Open-minded.
Well, grandfather, now grandmother.
I just wanted to make that clear. Well, he had nothing. Johan had nothing to do with that. That was all the rest of the family nonsense.
Annoying as a kid, but you're cool with it. But okay, now, so why don't you?
I'm cool with him, but I'm not cool with him trying to take my number. No.
Yeah, but he's a whole nother Johan. You know what I mean?
He's a Johan, not the Johan thing.
Well, yeah, that's why you have separate numbers. But he would have been 47 if you hadn't already shifted down.
I don't know. They might be one and the same. We haven't seen them in the same room together. Just saying.
That's true.
Right?
I hadn't seen him before this episode.
No, we established this as canon lore. we were.
Once you start talking lore about stuff that doesn't matter, Johan tunes out.
I know this.
Whatever.
You helped me establish this, and he even has. I even gave him his home. The planet that he went off to has a little bit of backstory. Not much. You might have to go there to and then I'll make more backstory for it when you get there.
I'm definitely not going there then. No.
What is the plan now?
You sign. Oh, so you're signing, and Johan, you get kind of tapped on the shoulder.
Yes.
Sheriff's name, Krasinski, kind of pokes you on the shoulder. Listen, you're the muscle group?
Yes.
We might have trouble.
Right here in River City?
He said, no.
Is that T with a capital T? Rhymes with P?
That rhymes with P.
Stands for full.
No. No, it is not that.
Didn't know we had musical theater fans here.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. Okay. No. He said, no. But we do have trouble coming to Krazer.
Okay. Guess if trouble's coming, you don't take 10 minutes to explain what the trouble is.
It's a couple of. They're not terrorists. Well, they.
Let's start with what they are.
They mostly.
They're not tigers. All right, they're not tigers.
The problem is.
Or are they?
They're.
Get to the point. They're on the way.
They were rebels. They wanted out. We got a peace deal. We hadn't seen them. None of their soldiers anywhere near the city. We worked it out a deal. They stick to their territory. We've been fine, except they are coming down the road right now.
How many?
So shoot them.
I was gonna say, you want me to shoot them? I can shoot them.
We're sending out our guys. I don't want a
Oh,
Okay.
trust me, these are
We'll
these are
use
high.
the
These
flamers
are
then, and they'll burn up all the
have,
blood.
They build.
these cauterize the wounds when I shoot.
The
There,
bullets are
there won't be a
bouncing
bunch of blood.
The bullets are
What?
bouncing off whatever they have. They have a
Oh
thing.
yeah, well obviously because you guys are using like.
We have better
No.
firepower, so.
Yes, exactly. That's why he's telling you that these guys.
Oh.
Can you? How subtle can you be?
Not very.
We need to be.
He's like, no, they're flying the rebel flag. We have full rights to shoot them on the treaty.
The rebel flag.
It's a symbol. I don't know if they're going to be Imperial compliance. It might. I know we signed the deal, but can you?
All right, boys, we're fighting Johnny Reb, and you're up for it.
Can I send Overbite ahead?
Yeah, you can absolutely send, and get the feed in. So, you send the skull up, and the sheriff kind of jumps a little, and it's like, the skull thing. They're harmless, right? They don't bite.
Sure.
Okay.
Don't
Almost
get
would tell
close.
it not to be.
He kind of gives a nod. Right, and they're gonna be the high shots gonna have them. Of course this. Okay. What am I supposed to do with that?
It will
Why don't
give
we
us
send Harmon over
information.
there? He's the
diplomat.
personable.
Great idea.
The personable one amongst our group. You're
That's
sending
true.
the guy.
You could try to talk the rebels out of it.
Harmon, do you think you would be able to convince the rebels to go away peacefully
You could try.
before we kill them?
I have zero confidence in my skills, but I think I can run fast enough to get back before they kill me.
So yeah, you get fully kitted up. They're gonna send you, and they're gonna put Overbite. Now, okay. Now I have.
Oh wait, so they're sending a parlay group?
The
This is the parlay.
stats. Let me check the stats.
Service Skull has stats.
I think so. Let me go.
Oh yeah.
If things go south, I'll just be like, "Get them, Overbite," and then just turn and run.
Let me go to the.
Overbite just flies away faster.
Yeah. Hang on. I don't know how fast they can. I need to look this. Rogue.
I have no idea anything about Service Skulls other than
yeah, the
it can see and hear and talk.
They're fairly common. Let me see. They should be in. There was in right. It was in
Page 376.
There you go. You see, I told you. You guys actually knows these things. He's a rules expert. 370. Free. Oh. Huh.
Ooh,
sure?
fancy book.
370. Are you sure that's where it is?
Yeah, in the core rulebook.
Are
you in a different book?
Servo Skull. Nope, I was going the wrong direction. Servo Skull. Human skulls that have been fitted with rudimentary artificial intelligence support systems and anti-grav motor to provide mobility. Their advantage are small size and maneuverability, which allows them to enter otherwise inaccessible spaces or hazardous areas that would endanger their operators, as well as the ability to act as additional eyes and ears for their masters. Fun little. Okay. See below movement. Inbuilt lumen globe. Okay. Modified.
They're not.
It doesn't. It says see below wounds for skills.
Are you just looking for the speed?
Yeah.
It's based off their agility.
They have the same standard 30.
Okay. No, see, traits flyer 6.
Oh. Right.
So their base movement 6.
Base movement 6. Okay.
Flying. Yeah.
They can fly.
And what is our base movement?
Your base movement is what is your agility bonus?
Oh, great question.
Or your agility score rather.
34. So 3.
3. Your is 3 meters.
So
per
it's
half move,
real
6 for a
fast.
full, so 3 meters per turn. If you're gonna do something else, that's a half action. 6 if you're just gonna move. If you run,
it's times 6.
Times 6, but you put yourself like you're super easy to attack. Like your armor class gets or your.
Well, it gives a plus 10
it's a bonus.
to hit with melee, but a minus 10 if they're shooting at you.
Exactly.
Sick.
So,
I was about to say, wouldn't it make it harder to shoot you?
It makes it harder to shoot, easier to swing a sword at.
yeah. So and claws and power claws and thunder hammers and
yeah.
Very.
They gotta catch me first.
And the Tyranids have. Trust me, there are some very scary melee weapons in the 41st millennium that you do not want to get.
I believe you.
I have a plus 8 to agility.
Oh, a plus 8. Your oh wait, is your bone? Wait a second. Your score is a. No, your agility is 31. and you're
Oh
not a
man,
Space Marine, so you don't get to double.
I'm so screwed.
Like
Space Marines don't get to double it either.
They don't. They only get to double speed. They don't get to double the agility. Certain things you can double your bonus for.
There's some demons that get double for agility.
Yeah.
Can I just kamikaze into them?
You can try. You can
We have
probably fail that check.
anyone that's good.
They have a bulletproof vehicle of some sort. You don't know what else they might have. They probably have guns, single shot. Probably
Wait, they figured out how to make a bulletproof vehicle, but can't make a decent gun?
I mean, bulletproofing tech involves at different levels, and honestly, bulletproofing you just need enough. If it's heavy enough, that's the thing. I don't know.
Yeah, they were called the Ironclads, and they were super duper heavy, and they weren't traveling at any speed down the river.
We don't know how fast they're going too.
Maybe it's like an old
anyone that's good at
A7B.
stealthing?
Yeah. Also, it's assuming if you can get in on and off the planet, anyone else can also get on and off the planet. Just saying. And there's an entire Imperium's worth of people who have bulletproof vehicles that have weird ulterior motives that would maybe line up with these guys.
Yeah, I'm going to take a look at these vehicles as they're approaching.
Okay.
Can I see them?
Yeah, so you guys are all going to pile into the back of the pile into the car and go.
Hey, sure, why not?
Yeah.
Road trip.
Yeah, you all pile in.
For sure.
And you're putting along. It's not a particularly fast vehicle, but it is motorized. And you chug along, and they pile you all in. It takes two, but they're essentially, they're piling along, and there are others you see kind of, but they've kind of blockaded it a little bit because they have every cop in the entire city doing, and a lot of the High Shaw soldiers too, trying to, crowd control. And they have. You come up, and you're in the back of these cars, and you see, and they're open back, so you're kind of just plugging along. You can see this thing coming, and it is interesting. It's tan-colored, and it's got splotches of different colored tan and, darker and lighter, which is kind of weird. And it, there's no guns. It doesn't seem to have any weapons of any sort, mounted weapons. So that's pretty good.
Hey, Lee?
Threads, not wheels.
I have lore war.
Sure. There you
Can
go.
Can I figure if it's a weak ass attempt at camouflage or something like that?
Yeah. Roll your lore war.
Okay, my lore war is. That's an int check, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Intelligence-based.
Okay. I rolled. I did not get it. I rolled a 48, and my int is a 37.
Close.
So
I
close.
will say it's even with that degree of failure, you're like, that's camo, but you can't. Yeah, I will give you that as someone who has fought in many campaigns, that's desert camo, which is weird because freaking you're not in the desert. It's a fairly temperate zone. Outside of the city, there's grasslands. This sticks out.
Does the vehicle look native compared to what I've seen of the other vehicles around here?
Not really, but you're not sure what it's got. Treads. It's armoring. You don't know what it is.
Okay.
That roll.
Does it have tires? Does it have tires or like a tread?
Tread. It's got treads.
Okay.
Two treads. One on each,
Mm-hmm.
Dual tread and no gun. Desert camouflage paint job.
Has no gun?
No gun.
So it's like an APC.
Possibly.
Can I
with that kind
shoot?
Of you wouldn't know that for sure. You're like, I vaguely looks military-y, but you're blanking.
Can I shoot
right
the
now,
tread?
Like, in the context is weird. Like, it's just your brain's blanking out right now, and you can't pin it. If you go back, it's gonna hit you at like 3 a.m. Oh, that's what the fuck that was. Okay, it's gonna hit you at whatever hour of the morning that this is a thing. But for now, it's just trundling along towards you.
Can I shoot one of the treads out with? Can I attempt to shoot one of the treads out with my twin bolters?
Yeah, I would say yes. Yeah. They do have the flag that's kind of mounted on the back, and it looks like they have slits that they've poked barrels of guns through, but it's small arms, so
Yeah, I'm not worried about
taking
that.
pot shots, but
Oh, they're shooting at us.
That's how insignificant they are. We've gone like 10 minutes
well,
of discussion here, and they're like, oh yeah, by the way, you're getting shot at.
So the gun slits are on the side, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they're trying to get the barrels, but they can't get the barrels to point properly, and you guys are up on the like toward the edge of the city. Out there's like a gate marker at the edge of the city. There's a bunch of buildings beyond that, and you can kind of see it coming up the road. And they're not, they're taking pot shots at the buildings on the side, but they can't get them to point forward properly, so they can't shoot at you yet.
Okay, so what am I rolling here? Ballistics?
Yes, I would say, it would be a ballistic shot. If you take half a turn to aim, you can get plus 10, and timing, you're probably fine on that.
Well, you want to shoot both of them though, right?
Oh yeah, I'm shooting both of them.
Which means
that's a full action.
Yeah,
full action.
Oh, full action to do both two shots, right?
That's
half
fine.
action each one, right? So that means you don't have
these regular bolt pistols.
Do what?
I'm trying to think about the distance here. This is bad at me being bad at guesstimating.
And I have the dead eye property, the dead eye trait.
Having a dead eye isn't going to help you very much.
Well, I'm going to throw it at him after I shoot him.
I would say it's they're about 500. That was it's a mile, so about 300 meters, closing rapidly. So, rapidly. They're trundling along at like maybe a mile or two per hour. But
you'll want to hold your fire until they're a little
just
closer.
play chicken with them.
Yeah, I mean that's true.
Well, I mean, apparently I can get many shots off before they get into any accurate range.
Bolters, they have range. That's a thing. There's effective ranges on weapons too. Let me.
These bolt pistols.
Yeah, bolt pistol, because you don't have like a bolter. You're not freaking space.
30.
30. Yeah, so they're 10 times your usual range.
Also, okay.
That's a thing. Now, you might be able to a little farther, but yeah, maybe 100 meters if you're like want to take a nasty penalty, but they're not close enough to shoot yet. As of now, they're getting close.
You're gonna be firing them bullets like a stormtrooper.
Slow and steady.
But we're getting closer to them too, right? We're in a car. We're moving much faster than air.
City gates, but but they
well, don't let them in this. Don't let them in the city, guys. Let's move forward and shoot them before they get into the city.
I bet we play chicken.
So yeah, they start the cars forward. They're trundling along. So you also are shooting out of the back of a moving vehicle, which would impose a penalty as well. But most likely here, especially because it's not a smooth ride, and you're bumping along. The road is paved, and it's got this road I think is the there's a holy site. So yes. Oh, the Golden Arms provide medical aid to pilgrims and soldiers on both sides who agreed to have temporary shut down the arms, claiming to do the Emperor's work. Right, the Golden Arms that was their war that they had. But that was a different war. But yes. They're trundling along the road. It is paved. So you're going along. What's your?
Oh, I got an idea. So, who amongst us has flamethrowers?
Adronia has one. You could have. Let's see. You have 2 cars that can form 4 of you per car. So hypothetically, you got Johan, Finnick, Harmon, and Harmon in one, and Adronia and Janthine in the other. who else do you want with you? You can have any of the
more flamethrower guys because
the flamethrower guy, yeah.
Oh, you want you want Nolan? Okay, he's in there.
We want Nolan.
All right, he's in with your car.
I'm thinking we can intimidate them with a flamethrower display, so that way we don't have to kill anyone. We could just have you guys go out there and shoot flamethrower. Just light them up and shoot them up into the sky and say, "Do you really want some of this? Is that what you're looking for?"
Okay, so he's in with you guys. So you have 2 more spots with Janthine and Dronia. Who do you want to? Who do you want to bring? Anyone else?
Doctor?
Yeah, 2 more flamethrower guys.
Doctor?
Okay. Dr. Keynes.
In case we get hurt.
Not Dr. Keynes, but yeah, she's in there.
Do we want to bring Dr. Keynes, or do we want to bring one of the medical?
I mean, you can have both. You got 2
technicians.
There are 2 spots open.
That's fair, but do we want to? My thing is that if we get hurt.
Get hurt.
Like if
she
hear me out.
Work as
hear me out.
Like during her youth, like
you get hurt, just amputate.
An emergency
for
you guys when you first, because they got her dragged into that mess because she was visiting her brother and she was like, "We need someone with medical training," and she's like, "I'm here, let's do it." And
as long as they don't get shot, that's all.
Have some
my
faith
concern.
in the Emperor.
Faith in the Emperor, always good.
Of course.
If we just play chicken with them.
Okay, so you have her
ultimate tactic
as well, or do you want? There are 2 other medics actually, or do you want Sergeant Burbank who has an extra las gun?
Ooh, Sergeant.
Do you want an extra gun, or do you want another doctor or a medic? He's more EMT level, but well trained.
Gun. If we're playing chicken,
right.
get a
Sergeant
gun.
Burbank can do a little bit of emergency field work, kind of. So she's hopping in, and she does have a backup morph shot that she has. So she does have 1 backup morph shot as part of her kit.
Morphine?
And stims actually.
Can I go ahead and get that shot?
She'll hand it over to you. Are you hurt?
No.
She just sighs. You know what? After the battle, if no one's hurt, I'll hand it over. But yeah, they are standard issue in case of emergency field medicine, and that's not to say people don't abuse them occasionally, but yes, they are standard issue to Imperial Aegis. They give the Aegis morphine shots because they do get shot a lot, and it's painful. And
hey guys, I have another plan.
Mm-hmm.
Like this one. I can run up to their vehicle since it's not moving very fast.
Yeah.
And toss in one of my purple grenades.
The purple grenades. So, the aforementioned bioterrorists had these purple grenades. They were that Johan cribbed a bunch of them because he was like, I want them, and I'm going, they you can just take them, sure. So he has these grenades. They have a hallucinogenic effect, and they sap your. They give you a -10 to everything, essentially, and I have written down exactly what they do. They
every turn.
Ugly.
They're diabolical.
It's an ugliness. The purple smoke. What is the purple smoke?
That's
and they can't get out of they can't get out of the vehicle without getting shot. And even if they do, they're going to be at -10 on all their stuff.
Right, until they manage to stay away from them for a while. Actually,
do we want to do
with the Slaneshi demon loose because of
how many do you have?
I have 3 on me right now.
Okay.
Enough to cause
Because
trouble.
we have the good doctor.
Chicken first. If that doesn't work, fuck them up.
Yeah.
It's going to be a hell of a chicken game. I mean, yeah, one of us going at a good 40, 50, even more, and then the other one's going 2 mile an hour.
Well, no, you're not going that fast. You're topping out at 20 maybe. This is not.
Either way,
Still,
10 times their speed.
10 times, yeah.
And velocity in a crash affects both parties
Well,
equally. So
We have an engine. I mean,
But we have flamethrowers.
we also have flamethrowers. That's true. And you're putting.
And the sergeant has a gun.
Up in the front with the.
No, you want to put them on. You put the flamethrowers on the side so that when we go by them, they just flame every open hole that's that they've got their gun sticking out of.
So you could pull the cars, the 2 police. You have the drivers. They're somewhat decent. They could probably pull along both sides and just hit and go try to shoot or drive by shooting into the gun ports. That could work.
I don't want to shoot a gun because that implies
Well, I
bullets
mean,
are going to be shooting
Well,
everywhere.
no, Tony, you have the flamethrower. See, you have 2 flamethrowers, 1 in each car. You
Sure.
could go flamethrower, drive-by flamethrowering. You could try that.
Yeah, and I think that would give them the proper respect needed for this encounter.
Okay, you want to do go kind of split the 2 cars, drive by on each side, and flamethrowers?
Because a chicken, I'm not sure what that would accomplish, other than it. Because if even if they may stop, they may not. But we don't want it. In a game of chicken, it's only really relevant if you're willing to go through with it. Otherwise, you're just going to go around anyways.
Not going to crash into them. Well, I mean,
because
I'd be willing to go through with it. We're talking about 20 mile an hour.
Yeah, at 20 miles an hour, they're
going. What are we gonna do? Hit it? It's gonna be like a speed bump.
Something that's got some armor to it. You don't know how much armor it does have, or what crumple zones it might have, or what it is. But crashing into something at 20 miles an hour, especially in an older car, modern cars have crumple zones that definitely work to defray this, but older cars do not. And human bodies are fragile and squishy, and it's not to be taken lightly.
There was a Mythbusters episode where they devised a crash car that did exactly 5 miles per hour, and they were shaken up pretty bad by that.
Yeah,
they weren't hurt, but it was very uncomfortable. Just at 5 miles per hour.
And it doubles and v squared. Remember the v
Yep.
squared, so it does get pretty ugly. 20 miles an hour is more than 4 times that because it's squared. So.
We are not in a vehicle that's good with this. So.
Yeah, and also you guys don't have seatbelts. Just saying. So you're gonna get.
Have seatbelts.
Yeah, the 2 drivers side have seatbelts, but the back doesn't, because these are old that they usually cuff the prisoners. The only thing they ever do is they can cuff the prisoners to the wall, and then they have a way of doing it that kind of keeps their head from hitting anything ish, but they are also just putting unsecured prisoners in the back of cop cars and then driving. And that's an old tradition of police brutality, but that's a whole other story. Focus. You guys are in the back of these cars. No seatbelts. You're going 20 miles an hour on the road. Open top, no seatbelts. You're chugging along. You're fine for now. But if you crash them into these things, there's no guarantee of your safety. Or I don't know how we calculate damage, but I'm willing to try if you're going to play. If you want to do it, I'm willing to try. I would highly suggest not, but...
I will talk to the driver on the other side. You go on that side, we'll go on this side, and flame them as you go by.
You kind of
and then turn.
I think we got enough room to pull it off. Sergeant, the sheriff who's in the car with you guys, yeah, okay, sure.
And do it at a diagonal shot so that you don't, because if you do it perpendicular, if you get on the other side, you might end up flaming us instead of after you're done flaming them. So diagonal.
Grins and it's just like, oh yeah, let's do it. Let's do this. He's excited.
Nolan's ready to go. He's been waiting for this.
Yeah. Okay, Adroni, you have the other flamethrower, and the driver's already pulling out. He's like, "Yep, we're doing this."
I can just imagine them slowly creeping towards us at their 1 or 2 mile an hour.
Yeah.
When we're having this conversation.
Yeah, and you guys are jumping along, getting closer and closer. All right. Yelling over the whipping wind, and you're just doing it. So you got the flamethrower out. Okay, now flamethrowers.
Is this ballistics?
Let me check that.
It is, yes.
I hope so.
Well, except here's the thing about the flamethrowers. Fun bit about flamethrowers, right? You don't even make a test at all.
Flamethrowers.
You don't have to roll anything. The target needs to make an agility test in order to avoid getting. I don't know if a vehicle can do that though.
Well, the vehicle can, but the guys inside the vehicle can try to jump back from the gun ports and shelter in place.
But do they know what's coming?
They don't. So they probably would have a minus on that because they see the flame and they're they have to duck immediately, and Okay. Let's get some D100s for these guys. Poor souls. Hang on. I have to go. Flamethrower. Would be in the Chronos Expanse. Hang on.
Does that mean that a flamethrower can't jam?
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah, you are very lucky on that front.
Although, if you're not proficient with it, then the other guy gets a bonus to their agility.
Yes.
Is it?
Oh yeah, what kind of weapons?
I have something here.
You have a bunch of weapons training.
Basic and melee.
I think would fall under one of those. Yeah, you guys get universal weapon training as part of your.
Yeah.
So any.
Plus, they don't really have anywhere to run. It's not like they're in an open field and
That's
can
true.
do a ninja roll out of the
it's more
way.
of a
You know,
duck into the thingamabob and hope they can they can kind of shelter in place and not get the worst of the flames. Like they're gonna, tuck, duck, and roll in the bottom of the, and they don't even really have that much. Yeah, they're going down essentially. That's what
have they invented?
Down, and they're very cramped in there. Well, you don't know that exactly how many are in there versus how many can really hold, because no one's seen anything other than they have gun barrels and they're making pot shots, but they haven't seen how many people are really in there because it's completely blacked out. Otherwise,
sure.
There's a windshield and there's two up front. You know that. They have a compartment. They're fully blocked off, and you realize this. They have a glass, front, and you can kind of see a bullet hole. Someone tried to shoot the glass and it did not go through properly. So that's a little concerning. But you've got three up front.
Is it though? Because they're shooting 16th century bullets into it.
Well, yeah, that's true. They don't have a whole lot of firepower. It's not like a modern AK going at it, but I mean, even a freaking not 16th. They have better. Martina, that's what they were using in World War I. So they have some decent firepower and a well-trained Marines who were doing single shot but really good at reloading. Everyone thought they were doing machine gun fire because they were that good. So well-trained, soldiers can, and especially against regular old glass, it would have come apart in a heartbeat. So this isn't regular old glass. This is something a little stronger.
When we get close enough to flamethrower them, can I shoot the glass with my bolter?
Bounces back, instantly killing Harmon.
Well, I mean, don't roll 100 and have a jam, essentially.
Okay, so what do I got to do? Do I get to do anything?
So, hang on. You're going past. You're going to try to shoot. Okay, yeah, you would. Okay. Now this is initiative, but they can't hit. So, okay. Roll. You roll first. Roll your shot first, because you're going to.
Okay.
Yeah, this isn't weird initiative way. Okay.
Oh, gee. Well, I'm assuming I hit because my first number is a 0.
If the other one is in 0 as well. The other one.
That's true. Well. I could get another 0. Nope, it's a 4.
Okay, yeah, that would hit. If it was another 0, your gun would.
And it's 2, and it's dual.
Yeah, that's a nat 100.
I fire them both at the same time due to my trait. Due to my traits.
Fire both. You would have a penalty though.
I don't have a penalty unless it's just for shooting because my ambidexterity and my gunslinger. I have gunslinger. Gunslinger. No.
Wait.
Celiac. Celiac and I.
Out earlier in the chat, right? It was a -10 overall. And then,
except that my traits countered that.
Right, but I thought it counted. No, it counted half that and counted the other half. Yeah.
It's normally a -20.
Yeah.
He has ambidextrous that takes it down to -10, and then the other one, gunslinger, takes it to 0. So it's just a flat roll.
Okay. Good.
And if he's firing both, he can do semi-auto from both, and they would each be at a +10.
Oh, semi-auto. Okay, hang on. Semi-auto. How many shots? How much magazine is a semi-auto on a bolt? Okay, now we have to look this up.
I believe that's just 2.
2 shots. Okay, and I would say both hit with a 4 because you need a degree of success for the second one to hit, but that works. So that both hit on that one. Roll the other one.
They roll at the same time because of the gunslinger.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
you got
to make the. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's
the second one. is
roll for both attacks, but
a 32.
What's your ballistic skill?
Oh, it's like 65 or something.
Okay. Yeah, you've been bumping it up because of the frickin'
But yeah, that's enough degrees of success. Those both hit too.
Yeah,
4 hits.
So you got 4 bolter shots. I would
That's
say
wild.
the armor. Give it a okay. Roll damage. Roll damage. I'm trying to think of how much armor does this. What's the pen on a bolter?
4.
4 pen 4. Okay. All right. Roll damage.
And what am I rolling for that?
The bolters have
1d10 plus 5 apiece.
Yeah.
Okay, and I do
5. So 4. So it's 1. Yeah. Roll each 1d10 plus 5.
Okay, the first 2 I got double 6s, so that's 11 at 22 for the first round.
Yeah. So 11 each on the first.
And a 10 and a 3 on the second, so that's at 23 on the second one.
That goes through. So it's 11 and 11. What were the other 2?
Then you had a 15, and what was the last one?
9.
I got a 15 on the first one and a 23 on the second one. And I got a 10 and a 3, and then plus the 2 5s.
Exploded out, right?
Yeah, he's adding them together. So,
Oh, you explode
3, so
damage?
plus 5, 8.
It can. If you get a 10, it can explode. Yes. But you have to.
Oh, right. He had a 10.
Wait, did you?
That's
roll a 10 on
terrifying.
Yes,
He
I
rolled
did.
a 10 on damage.
Okay. So that one is 15. Okay, take that one. Roll. Okay, no. Roll another D100 real quick. Because you're not a space marine, you have to check these things.
It's another attack roll, basically.
Attack roll. Roll another attack roll.
Okay. Got a 62, which
Is that
1 below my ballistic score. I don't know if that hits or not.
Which means roll another damage die.
Yeah, you get another D10.
He's like, and
Gosh.
now I have done
They're all dead.
over 50
They're all
damage
just
in
gonna die.
one attack roll.
Well, but then, hang on.
I rolled a 9 on that one, so that's a 14.
Okay, so
damage
no,
on
it's
that?
9. It's plus. It's 10 plus. It's 10. 10 plus 9 plus 5. So whatever 10 plus 9.
Oh, gotcha. 24.
24. So 24 on that one shot. Okay, and then and it's pen 4, so that was 8. So that's 4.
And see, here's the deal: is that because I'm shooting these?
Minus 4 for the glass. So are you shooting at particular? Because there's 3 targets. You got 3 rebels in the front. Who are you shooting at?
Yeah. I'll shoot at the guy who looks like he's driving.
The driver? Okay. All of them go into the driver?
Well, I'll do 2 on the driver and 2 on the guy in the passenger seat.
Okay. 2 on the driver, 2 on the guy in the passenger seat, the guy jammed in the middle of 9. Okay. That works. So the first 2 go for the driver, and he has... And, okay, so the first 2 were 11 and 11, right?
Mm-hmm.
At pen 4. So that gives him an... 11 and 11 at pen 4. So the glass does shatter. And then... okay. So that's those... that's his toughness. And he has a... extra 2, and that takes away 2 because the pen would have been wasted on that, which means... Okay, he's still alive. Driver's still alive on 2 shots because of the glass providing some... Basically,
Okay.
the glass took a lot of the momentum, you notice. It defrayed a lot of the momentum, even with a bolter with pun. Okay.
Not so sure about the guy in the passenger seat, though.
Well, yeah, because he took the... So you had... how many for the first one? One of them had 9 plus...
The first one was a 3, I believe, so plus 5 would be 8.
8? So the first one was 8?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But I'm guessing it doesn't have to make that penetration check because there's no...
Well, no, it does take some. So it does have... It has to do 4 less... He has the effect of 4 less armor points.
But I blew out the window with the first round.
Ooh. Oh. You're not shooting through the exact same spot, though, because they go through. I'm going to... Hang on. Let's see. I'm going to rule that it holds for both. But
Enzo,
are you ruling this as cover?
Essentially, I'm giving it armor points. I'm ruling it as armor. It's essentially 8
It's not
armor.
You're not considering it as cover.
No, I'm considering it as extra armor. Essentially, is how I'm doing it.
Fair enough.
Wise. So it goes, because
if it's considered armor, then it doesn't actually get reduced at all as you shoot.
Exactly, because it's the way it's going up here. The odds of getting it through the exact same hole are. Now, granted,
yeah, but what I'm saying is, are these bullets just going through the glass like in a little bullet hole, or are they shattering the glass?
A hole, but it's not shattered. It's not shattering. This is weird. Okay. It's not shattering.
Well, there we go.
Because if it were shattering, they would have shattered it the first time. But you've seen it hadn't yet shattered.
Right.
So hang on. So the first one, okay, and the second one had 8 damage. The second one was the big one, right? It had.
And a 24, I believe.
24.
Okay, that's pretty good. That might be. Yeah, no, he's out. There's no way he has that many wounds. He's hemorrhaging. Definitely into the crit zone. Yeah, he's out. Essentially, the first one kind of spooks him, and he seems like he's maybe unhurt even. And then the second one comes through, and he's just like coughing blood. Yeah, he's out. The guy in the middle is terrified because he just watched his friend get shot, and the guy driving is now shot, and but he's shot but alive for now. The guy in the middle is unharmed. The truck is they're still coming towards you. Now, because you're going this fast, this is when you shoot, you split. Okay, now.
Fire!
You're pushing the flamethrower. Okay. Flamethrowers. They're going in. So, not that one. That's Notes on the Planet. Weapons. Flame weapons. Here we go. You have probably, I'm guessing, a hand flamer. Are you carrying you definitely don't have a heavy flamer. Do you have a basic flamer? I know Nathan has, or Nolan has a basic flamer. He's going full flamer. Do you have a hand flamer or a big one? What are you thinking?
Probably big. I imagined it strapped to her back as a hand flamer, just much smaller.
Mounted each use a canister mounted in a small barrel, making it somewhat difficult to aim to the heavy propellant case. Yeah, no, they're not strapped to the back. Mezzo versions copied by the Heretic Armors in. Weapon-mounted canisters allows for faster refueling and easier use. Well, okay, avoid sweep if needed. Yep. So, yeah, this is a. Yeah, you're not carrying the heavy. You're going with this one, which, if I have the handy-dandy chart. Grenade. No, that's range. Bolt. Flame. Here we go. Mozilla pattern. Okay. It's basic, which means you have universal basic weapon training, which means you're fine. 20-meter range. But you're right next. Yeah, you're good. Okay, damage is D10 plus 4 energy damage with a pen of 2, clip of 6, reload 2 flame, and the availability you have when you're a rogue trader. You have a bunch of stuff. It's not that rare. Okay, so you've got one. Which means it should have a. Of course, it doesn't have the area of effect listed, but I'm gonna say it's definitely. Because it should have area of effect listed, but it doesn't, even though it's a flame weapon, which means it's frickin'. Range. Rate of fire. Yeah, it's this flame weapon, so it should have a blast radius or something, but it's not listed. Okay, so, single shot though, so, and your clip is 6. So, you're going through, you are, yeah, so you basically, a D10 plus 4, is there a freaking, special weapons qualities? Let me see, where's that?
The flame quality is on 115.
Of course it is. Okay. This is why I have. All right. flame.
I rolled a 9, so 13.
13 for the damage die. Flame weapons project a cone of flame in the range of out to the range of the weapon. Oh, so it's a full 20 meters cone.
Yeah.
Which means you are caught in the black. Now you have cover.
Not if they're firing forward.
They're firing
Cone
at
like this.
Wait, hang on. Let me.
So then the two vehicles aren't hitting each other; they're going forward into the.
Oh.
Johan said that.
Is,
Explain that before we.
To avoid hitting it, they'd have to be going at it. They can't. There's not much an angle. There's a narrow, limited road. They're going on either side. Just they can't. The maneuver to get to the point where they need to be able to go through, unless you're hitting on the back way. Is that your plan? To hit while it's going after, like to spin and. Because I thought you were going to fire exactly perpendicular into it as you're going past.
Not perpendicular. I
Discussed an
specifically
angle.
said at an angle.
Okay, so
At an
you're
angle.
going back. All right. See, you can keep each other out of. I will say yes. You know you both know enough basic geometry to keep each other out of the blast. It's hard to talk Nolan into waiting a few minutes to do it, but there are a few seconds to get this right. But yeah, okay. So yeah, you're. Oh, so it's overlapping. Okay. They have. What they have cover. Let's see. Fire. They cast Fiery Death out to this distance. The does not need to ballistic skill test. Fires the weapon. All creatures in the flame's path, a cone-shaped air extending a 30-degree arc from the fire out to the weapon's range must make an agility test or be struck by flame and take damage normally. If they take damage, they must succeed on a second agility test or be set on fire. Cover does not protect characters from attacks made by flame weapons. Normally, an weapon is fired without appropriate weapon talent, or a heavy weapon is fired without bracing. The weapon suffers a minus 20 or minus 30 penalty reserved for the skill test. When a weapon with flame quality is fired with the wielder who does not possess the appropriate weapon training talent, anyone in the area's effect gains a plus 20 bonus on the agility, but you have the proper training, so you're fine. It's heavy and the wielder is not braced. Because flame weapons take no roll to hit, they are always considered to hit targets in the body and will jam if the fire rolls a 9 on damage dice. Oh.
I just did that.
Yeah. Okay.
I just rolled a 9 on my damage dice.
Are you
But
serious?
I do. Yeah. But I do have technical knock, so with a half action, I can unjam it.
Okay. And it's half action to fire. So, that means. Does that mean it doesn't go off? Yeah, I would say that means it doesn't go off.
If it's a jam, it doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah. So it
That's so funny.
You're scrambling to unjam it. Roll the unjam test.
The technical knock.
Yes,
what would
roll
that
the
be?
Tech use. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Tech use.
You're good
I
for it,
have
though,
a
yeah.
skill in that.
It's
So-
in face, and you have the talent and
It's intelligence, right?
yeah, you're
Yeah.
good at tech.
Oh, that's a 5.
Oh yeah, so you click it open and you're like, and you manage to pull it, and it's just that the thingy wasn't screwed on quite enough, and you give it a little twist, and it's fine, but you're already past. Nolan though is going to roll his damage.
Damn.
And hopefully not roll a 9. 5. Okay, so he rolls. He doesn't take that. So they all have to make the agility test. On that front, on that swing. Okay, so there are. Okay, so that's.
I am going to have to head out, guys. It's about that time.
Hey man, thanks for playing.
Party and
It was good
Yeah,
meeting
hopefully
you.
next time I'll be able to stay the whole session. And I know I haven't been able to come to most of them, but
but yeah,
hopefully that changes.
Excellent.
Yeah. Take care.
Yes.
Y'all as well.
All right. Okay, and then these guys again. Where is? This is what happens when you have a lot of. Where did it go? Okay. When you have a lot of. Well, that's another success. Oh, that's a failure and a half. I'm automatically failing him on the second one to be caught on fire because that's a nat 100. So
Oof.
you know, that's caught on fire.
And the thing is that he's on fire with them right all in the same car, so the other guys can't run to get away from him because
Yep. Well, they all have secondary agility tests to not get caught. Which I will say that they do get a minus 10 because one of them did automatically go up. So, well, actually, there's only one of them who gets the. Oh no, he failed. Yeah, 2 of them are set on fire already. So, and then 4 of them managed.
They are roasting alive.
Yeah, well, 2 of them managed to duck out of the way. 2 of them, one of them is set on fire, and one of them, 2 of them duck down. Let me check this. Right, if they,
What about the drivers? Did they get the
the
driver in the middle
is still,
passage?
No, because there's a sealant between the. There's a shield between them, so they.
But there's still bullet holes from where I cracked.
Well, hang on, me.
But those don't provide any cover for them.
Right. If they take damage, they must succeed on a second agility test or be set on fire. Okay, so he essentially rolls this one and. Okay. That, I would say, fails. So 2 of them are set on fire. And so 4 of them managed to duck. 2 of them set on fire. But you don't know this going through. But, hang on. So the damage was, he rolled a 5, which the damage is. I have to go back and check that. Is +4. +4. So that's 9, and then they have, and that's 3. So they're taking damage. You can hear them screaming. They're set on fire. And then the other guys have to roll another, I guess, tertiary check, not to make sure they don't get set on fire from their comrades. Yeah, that's. Yeah, so 2 of them are going to take. One more actually. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, 3 of them are gonna then catch the fire from their trying to get their comrade to come out. One guy, so 2 of them take. We said they had each, which means they take. They have. So that's okay.
For burning.
Yeah.
It's another D10.
It's an extra D10. Okay, so that's
yep.
6. So they each take. We calculated out down to that, because they have armor. They do have.
It ignores armor if they have armor.
Oh, right, it does ignore armor, so it's just the toughness, and it was a. Hang on. Shush. Plus, so, which means that. Oh wow, they're not in great shape right now. And then it's another D10 as well that also ignores armor, I'm guessing. So, and then. Yeah, so it's another D10 for, but that's secondary damage, so it doesn't, okay, 2 of them are, you hear some screams, yeah, you hear some screaming, and, yeah, you hear some screaming from inside.
And you know what the good part is, Lee?
Yeah?
That was only one side.
Right, and the other one jammed.
But she fixed it, didn't she?
Yeah, but you're already past. Like you're driving way faster than this thing. You're getting him on the backswing anyway, specifically so that you
well,
don't.
I didn't know she wasn't able to recover in time.
Yeah, so I would say yes. So yeah, you're past them. They're screaming, and it's 1d10 extra per turn until they manage to stop, drop, and roll properly.
Yep.
Which is an agility test. So what do you guys want
to
do?
They also have the with a willpower test to see if they can even attempt it, or if they're just going to scream and flail inside the cabin.
Right. Yeah. So they all have to make that test.
And they also have a level of fatigue each. So.
Right. So that gets a -10 on the test.
Yeah.
Getting set on fire is not fun.
It's not.
Yeah.
It looks like the revolution's over, boys.
Well, so far. One of them does manage to get a shot off. So he's going to roll. One does manage to get a shot off. Probably one on your side. Johan.
Mm-hmm.
High or low?
High.
High. Okay. So now we need a D4 because there are 4 of you in that. You're one.
What does this mean?
Hang on. You're one. Finnick is 2. Hyman is 3, and Nolan is. No, they're shooting Nolan.
Let it not be Nolan.
I deflected with my face.
I mean, if you want to roll an agility test to try and jump in front of the shot to protect Nolan.
Get down, Mr. President.
You want to try an agility test to see if you can do that?
Oof, that timing on that joke. Oof.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. Okay. No, it's Nolan is gonna take that 41. Yeah, it's gonna hit Nolan. And it's going to be.
Can I make that test?
Yeah, you can make a test. Roll an agility test. It's a -3 because it's a you're in a moving car and they're shooting out of side, but.
I failed.
Yeah.
57.
So you jump forward, but Nolan's like right there, and he just takes it, and he has to take D10, and I made stats for him. He gets the same stats as. I actually have stats for these guys too. Ooh, okay, but it's only a freaking shooter, so he should have. There shouldn't be much, and they have flak armor, which is I believe 4. Yes, guard flak.
Yep.
All right, so he's fine. Solid projectile base. Yeah, it's. I'm gonna give it. Yeah, stop revolt. Yeah, that's about it. So it's a pen of 0, and he has 4 armor. So, and it's D10 plus 3. So that's but he has that. It's down to that, and he has toughness bonus. Let me go find his stats down here somewhere in the okay, yeah, he has the same stats as these guys. So toughness of which means it's and wounds of yeah, he's fine. He just coughs a little. Dang, that hurt. Okay. Freaking solid projectiles. I thought the flak was supposed to help with this. Okay. So he's gonna do that. What's your plan? Because they get one shot. You're kind of turned. They're gonna try. Well, the driver's still alive. He's gonna make a toughness check to see if he can keep driving despite being wounded. Yeah, that's not so good. He's not gonna be able to keep driving. He rolled a 9 down his toughness. No, he's essentially he's in shock. He's shocked. He's freaking There's no way. So the thing is just keep going full throttle straight because he's just got his foot on the gas and he can't steer because he's hemorrhaging, and the other guy actually no, because they have a secondary. He could. That's gonna be a tricky one though. For now, that'll be a whole time. Okay, start with that. He is panned for now. He's passed out there. They took the shot, and the rest of them are on fire and panicking. What? Actually, they get 1 willpower test. These 3 get 1 willpower test each. Oh, he's gonna be able to make a shot too. Wow, they're really good at willpower test. They really believe in the cause. Okay, no. So 2 on the willpower test. 50-50. 1 is that hits and doesn't hit. So we got 1 one on the other side going through. So I'm gonna need you guys to roll a d4 4. I'm gonna roll a d4 on your behalf. You ready? 1 is Dronia, 2 is Janthine, 3 is Dr. Keynes, 4 is Andre, the other medic. 3.
No, Dr. Keynes, I knew they were gonna get shot.
Okay.
I called it.
All right. This is why you have Andre too. Okay. But that's only a, and she has guard flak too, I believe. Ooh, that's pretty good damage. But she has, I actually have separate stats for her too. Actually, I need to find. There we go. Actually, no. There we go. There are her stats. Okay. Oh, she doesn't have a lot of toughness, but she's fine. Okay. Does she have?
Is there
Here
anything I
is.
could do?
She doesn't even have armor. Okay. It's fine. She's got. So, hang on. She's not gonna die. She doesn't have enough damage to that. She is not doing so well though.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. But what are you guys doing? Because
I say, hey, celiacs, any chance you think you could make the guy in the middle of the front seat's head explode?
That'd be a bit much. Spin us around. I'm gonna climb on top.
okay. They spin.
You
Isn't this thing on fire?
No, the inside. It's not flammable.
Some of the
inside
people
are
on the
fire.
inside are burning.
Yeah, but the flame accelerant that's used in a flamethrower coats the outside.
Is it?
It'll burn for a little bit.
Yeah, for a bit. It's not like they're Promethean. They're not freaking they're not salamander. You guys don't have the salamander pattern ones. You guys don't have those.
Okay.
So,
So it's
these guys aren't
like
stopping
it's like
or
napalm.
getting out of the. They're not getting out of the car
No,
after
you don't
it's like.
have the super napalm flamethrowers. I'm not.
So
giving you
was-
those.
Okay, so what is it? I mean,
it's
gonna use some sort of accelerant.
yeah, it's accelerant. It's
Yeah.
freaking alcohol.
And it will burn for like a few seconds,
Yeah,
but it'll burn through it quick and
exactly.
it'll be gone.
It's a fast burning.
Presumably the outside's metal, so there's nothing else to catch on
Yeah,
fire.
exactly.
Did it melt
Flame
anything?
again?
It's a metal car,
That's true.
and with glass and all that.
That's true,
And
but flames, you have to be really hot to melt metal.
Yeah, it's
You
not
want
gonna melt. It's not gonna melt metal.
Yeah, it's got. So
Flamer fuel can't melt steel tanks.
Yeah.
Do we want to flame again?
Yeah, but-
you can. If
oh,
you
okay.
want to try doing another pass. They're gonna turn the cars around. You can do another pass if you want to do it.
are
I
they
just don't
turning
want to
around?
catch Finnick on fire.
Yeah, as long as you stay at the diagonal, you'll be out of the range. You do it at the
Great.
right moment. You do it the past. They're just.
Are they turning around?
No,
I would
no,
love
Survivor
to
can't
try
turn around
again.
because he's been shot and he's in shock. He rolled a 90 on his toughness test. He's too in shock to like.
So is it the car still going? How is the car still going in a straight
Well,
line?
he's got his foot on and he hasn't moved it, so it's just going straight, and it's he hasn't touched the wheel, so it might start drifting a little, but it's gonna just.
It wouldn't even drift. He would have to physically pull on the sticks to make it turn in any
Yeah.
direction. So he can
Okay.
keep going
Treads.
whatever way they're pointing.
Yeah, it's true. But yeah, so he's just.
Unless it's a weird one that has a steering wheel, but that'd be odd.
Yeah, I mean you can't really see too well, but yeah, he's just right, because treads are not wheels. They
Yeah.
do the same drifty. Yeah, you're right. So it's just going straight unless he can get himself out of his shock. He has a toughness test
Well,
for that, but
if any of them poke their head out to take a shot at us, because we're coming from behind, so it's not like they can just aim from
they're
where they are, I'm going to take a shot.
the thing is that there's no glass in the back. They're shooting at metal. Now, granted, that's still you can try to.
What are they? How are they shooting
They
at
have
us then?
slits in the. It's a
In the
On the
side.
sides.
Yeah, it has
Okay.
side slits that are just wide enough to poke the barrels of the guns out. That they're poking.
And that's how the fire got
Got
in.
through. Yeah, that's.
Oh.
And then they went.
Well,
and
this-
got through the
okay.
flame, and they all panicked and dropped, except one of them managed to caught on fire, but avoid panicking. One of them managed to duck and then pop back up because he's.
Do we want
I-
to shoot at the front again?
You
Once we
could,
pass?
yeah, you're behind it now, but they're turning the cars around. The drivers are turning the cars around, so you're going back
Oh.
forward, which means you can shoot another pass. but they also got a turn to do something. I'll say that
I'm gonna hide. I'm like in a duck, so I don't provide a target for them.
Sure.
And I'll ask Phoenix to tell me when to pop up to shoot the guys in front.
Okay. Sure. You're duck
I would
fast.
also love to tell the medics to get the fuck down.
Okay. Yeah, Dr. Chains is sitting. Okay. Yep, she's applying pressure. I think that's a good idea. And Andre's like, yeah, okay. He's ducking.
Yep.
They're ducking behind you guys, which puts you guys up like a sort of human shields for the medics. All right, you're turning around, going for another pass. And you're not going to shoot until after you get in front of them. So you're.
I rolled a 1 on my damage dice, so that's a 5 damage.
5 damage. Okay, so they're. Oh yeah. Okay, Flamers go off first. 1, and he's gonna roll also a 1. But all of them are still on fire, which means all of the ones who are still on fire take a D10 worth of damage on that. So, and then.
Can they be even more on
5
fire?
damage each.
Are
right?
there tiers to being on fire?
They can still take damage from the flamer hitting them.
Yeah,
they won't get on fire again.
Yeah, they don't
Got
get on
it.
fire again, but they take damage from the secondary attack, and
Well,
they take. You said 5. Okay, so 5 plus 5 in armor, so
yes.
that's each, because they're getting pretty beat up, and that's even that much is not good. And then, which means he just has to roll enough on his
D10 to roast them.
That's a 10 on the. So everyone who was on fire, which is.
Oh no!
They take.
Does that explode as well? Does all damage explode?
Wait, they take damage from each of your. Hang on, they take damage from each of yours. So that's that damage and that's that 10, and then they take another. Which puts them at barely any damage anyway, and then with the extra fire damage, that's. But he only takes that damage plus that damage is that. And then has to make an agility check to avoid getting caught. Okay, yeah. Oh, he can make the. That would have made it anyway, so I wouldn't have that. Okay, so yeah, he would have gotten. So he wouldn't have been able to duck. I forgot to get a duck check. Yeah, that's not gonna make it. So he's caught on fire, which means 1 more D10, which you roll.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll let.
8.
8. Okay, but he has with the toughness.
Wait, is that +4 as well?
No. That's just
okay.
D10.
Then yeah,
But still,
just 8.
For the secondary damage, because you caught the last one on fire, you hear him scream, and with the secondary damage from that, he gets is in a pretty bad place and needs to make with it even. Yeah. Oh. Really well on the toughness check though. That is going to take 1 shot. The last survivor is going to take 1 shot, and he's we establish he's on that side, so he's going to shoot at someone in the car. Johan is ducking, which means it would be either Celiax, Finnick, Harmon, or
technically Celiax isn't in the car. He's
right,
on top of the car.
Finnick
he's on top of the car, right?
Yes. So, and yeah, it's Finnick.
He might be out of their line of vision, to be honest, because they can't really see him up there, right?
But I don't know if he hits yet because he only passed the willpower attack to still fire even though he's on. That's not gonna be enough. So it goes wide anyway. Like you get one solid projectile go whizzing past one of your ears, and you kind of twitch your ear, and you're like, oh, nope, there it goes. Okay. So yeah, and you're gonna pop up and shoot.
Yes.
Okay. You're gonna pop up and shoot. Who are you shooting
Okay.
at?
Who do I see?
If you kind of pop up after you go past, you see the 3 of them. The driver, who's trying to hold the bolter wound close and freaking a little bit, and the one dead guy in the passenger seat, the one who was jammed in between them, who is unharmed but not in a good headspace mentally because he can hear the screams of everyone on fire in the back, and the screams stopping, which is also very scary, and also he just had the two guys next to him get shot, and also he's not in a good headspace. You know.
Okay. Can I yell to him, "Stop the vehicle now, or I'm going to explode you"?
Roll an intimidation check.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd be scared.
Yeah, and
I do have intimidation as a skill.
All right, so it's a fellowship plus 20.
Fellowship plus 20.
Or plus 10, sorry. Fellowship plus 10.
Okay, so I have a 48 fellowship.
Well, there you go.
So
Johan's weirdly.
and I rolled a 48. Oh,
It beats, but we were at a plus 10 anyway. So yeah, he immediately like reaches down and jams, like he's pulling across, and he stops. It stops, and he is kind of running, climbing out. Roll a d10 real quick.
I rolled.
Well, no, not you. Adronia, because one of them is still alive on fire in the back.
10.
Oh well. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to say.
Whoops. We got one survivor.
Like, yeah, but he's pulling the driver out, like begging, please, medic, please. He's babbling. He's terrified.
Yeah, take care of them. We'll bring him back.
All right. So we're gonna start making some Medicaid rolls for Dr. Keynes and for Andre. In the meantime, you have the mystery of how the rebels got this thing. You have two of them left alive. The driver, who is the one in the passenger seat's beyond. I mean, especially without medical care he's out. But
can I ask Janthane to come with me into the vehicle and investigate? Look at the technology.
You guys want to go investigate?
I would like the more or less unharmed one brought over to me.
Ooh, terrifying.
Yeah.
I just wanted to bring up, why is that terrifying?
It's just mental powers. Just having the unharmed one coming over to you.
Yeah, so he's kind of dragging his friend toward Janthine, that one, because that's where the medic, Andres, who's jumping out with medical supplies. This guy's injured. He's already going for, he's gonna go for Dr. Keynes first, but he's on the radar of second one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so he kind of points and says, "Go over to the other car." And the guy goes. "I'll take care of your friend. Go to the other car." And then the guy goes, because they're willing to die for the cause, but this is something beyond what this means. He doesn't know. He thought that he could shoot through the glass. He doesn't. He's only human, and
well, and while he's doing that, like Johan's looking at him, just like with no emotion, but he's only got one gun out right now because the other hand has a donut in it. He's
it's fine. Yeah.
He's just like I'm so detached from this battle. I'm eating donuts as we fight it.
He just kind of blinks, is confused, walks slowly toward the car. No one's taken him prisoner or anything, but he is also kind of understands. He's gonna start.
He's gonna start what?
He's gonna start running.
Yep.
And I shoot him.
Okay. Easy.
Okay.
I want to compel him to return back to me.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right. That's a willpower check to make sure you can get the power off.
Yeah.
Are you pushing or fettered or unfettered or?
Unfettered. Right. Let's not get too crazy.
Yeah, and you have the sanctioning, which means unfettered is no big deal unless you roll doubles, and...
Oh, yeah. 32. We're good.
You're good. So, yeah, you can compel him. Let's see. Compel, what does compel do?
He gets to test and to resist, oppose willpower.
Okay.
But he's going to have a hell of a time.
Okay.
That's gonna
They have
be
pretty good will. Well, they've been rolling really well on willpower checks.
40, 50, 60, 70. Yeah, he's gonna need to beat 4 degrees of success.
That's well, that's a degree of failure anyway. So, yeah, that's not happening. It wasn't a really bad failure though. It wasn't like a 90, which they've been, But
Come hither.
It's not. He had. There were some pretty. They've been getting some weirdly good willpower checks, like in the single digits, but that was not one. And yeah, he's compelled. So what do what's the compulsion?
Is to approach me.
So he turns, and you can see him, and you look into when he turns around, you can see the glaze, and you're like, oh yeah, you got him, hook, line, sinker. He starts walking forward.
Say, Nolan, when he gets over here, do you want to make sure he understands the cost of trying to run away again with your weapon?
So he just walks forward right up to the edge of the car where you're standing.
Before he gets to us, I'd like to make a ballistics check, please.
Sure. Are you gonna try to shoot him? Are you trying to?
Oh no, I'm not shooting him. I'm ripping off a piece of my donut and I'm just gonna lob it at his forehead. Like that was your great plan, really?
Roll.
You caused us all this problems.
Seems like a waste of donut.
The extent of your revolution.
I mean, it is the same skill test. Aiming is the same range. It's a range.
Oh sure. It doesn't really matter if I hit him or not. It's the whole.
Yeah, but roll a range.
I mean, it's not going to damage him. It's just going to get you like a little powdered sugar on his forehead. That's bad enough.
Yeah.
Okay, so what did I roll? A 42. I think that might hit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Means it beats. Yeah, it hits, bonks on his head, and he just blinks, and he's kind of a little bit, but he's still kind of under this compulsion, and he's kind of a little bit out of it, and you realize the flicker of recognition, like what, and but he's compelled to keep going forward. He can't stop himself. He's right up to where Finnick is, and he just stands in front of Finnick, and you're in the car, and he's there.
Okay, did Nolan hear me?
And does the compulsion end when they do what you told them to do, or?
It ends at the end of the turn. I'm asking if Nolan heard what I told him.
Oh, Nolan said. No, you said it's Nolan. Nolan kind of.
I told Nolan to be out there and show him the cost of trying to run away again. I want him up there with his flamer ready to roast him.
And he just should I take the shot?
No, just if he tries to escape again.
All right. Yeah. So the compulsion lasts. So he spends
for 1 round. Yeah.
1 round walking forward, gets right up because he didn't get that. Yeah, because he started running, so he gets pretty close and then he sees the flamer, and he sees the back. He's under compulsion. He's panicking.
All right. Yeah, no, Good afternoon, sir. We're looking for a bit of information, and I'm hoping you can assist us with that. All you need to do, you don't even need to answer any questions. It's going to be real simple. You're going to feel a little buzz back of your mind. All you need to do is just relax, stand there, and just let it happen. All right? We're good.
And he opens his mouth to object. What do you mean a buzz?
Not if you understand.
He tilts his head like, he kind of gives a little nod.
Perfect. And just relax. And so I'm going to be using Mind Probe and Fettered. So Unfettered. Nice and easy, no risk of warpy shenanigans and whatnot.
Oh, you're doing it Fettered?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
Which, good God, I passed by 3. That's not even a degree of success, but is he going to resist?
Oh. It's a contested willpower, right?
It is a contested roll.
Okay, he does resist.
Oh, okay.
He shoots back, and he feels, and he like panics. He sees, and his eyes go wide, and he knows. You can tell he realizes, oh, you're Psyker. It clicks in his head that you're the one, and he starts moving. He's gonna no, he's not gonna run. He's nervous. He takes 2 steps backward, looks at the flamer,
What did he get on his test?
His test, he rolled 17, so it's 2 degrees of success for him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he rolled
Come
well.
now. Let's not make this difficult. We can make things much worse for you.
I didn't. You don't understand. There, shot is. He.
Yes, he made a lot of bad decisions, and you're kind of making one right now if you don't follow through and comply.
But we have to.
You have to do nothing but relax.
Okay. He has to roll another willpower.
Yeah, I'm gonna try it again.
Yep. Okay. Well, that is a 1 degree of failure on his part for willpower test.
And a 42. We're good.
Okay. So he resists once, but he can't pull it off a second time. He's trying to muddle through like the high shot, and we can't. He won't give us rights, and then we're not gonna get a share at this new deal, and you go in. You're in. What are you looking for? Because you get.
I'm looking for specifically who sent them here, what their plan was, what information they had about us landing here, where they got this equipment from.
Okay.
That kind of thing.
Also, I have to get going.
Oh yes, because
But it has been an absolute
I'm gonna be
delight.
late too.
Yes. So next week we will begin. I'm writing Mind Probe.
Well, you'll have notes for next week then.
Exactly. I will have the exact Mind Probe and what you get. All right. So Mind Probe. All right. Thank you all for coming. It did. Yes. Mind Probe. All right. Thank you all. You guys are awesome.
Bye.
Take care.
Hey, we have new chaos. We have one new viewer. Hi, welcome. We are just ending, so it worked through. The Astropath did succeed. Finnick is cool like that, and eventually, and so this guy can only hold out so long. So now they're gonna find out who gave them. How did they get their hands on pretty decent military equipment that does not fit the rest of the planet, and how did they find out about the landing? Well, word spreads. And why did they think this was a good idea? The why, we'll get to that. But in the meantime, thank you all our players. We had Reaper is gone. We have, if you guys want to say one last little outro of who you are, like where you can find. I think I have. It's outdated because I know you're no longer on the Blue Box one. But, yeah, so it's only that one. It doesn't have anything else on you. But, that game is suspended for now. But, you know. Oh, I have Sig shout out too. If any of you guys want to shout out in the chat any cool little, social media or, businesses you run or, like, fun things you do that you want to tell the people about, and now's your chance. We had, like, 6 viewers or so. So, yeah, we have 6 viewers right now, so we actually have a pretty decent viewership. But yeah, thank you all for coming. Awesome sauce, and we will have one more in August. I will pick a date. We will find as many of you as we can, and we will gather, and we will, much you're welcome to come back. If you want, you can have Janthine as long as eternally. She's yours. You get Adronia. Rob Janthine. Right.
Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take Rob's character. Why not?
You can, if you want to switch, if both of you agree, you can switch. Which tech priest?
Tata.
I mean, Janthine's stats are already like way better. I don't think you would want to. All right.
I think
Bye.
just the one stat.
Bye.
Right. Bye.
Nice seeing you, Rachel.
Yep.
You too.
Okay, I'm gonna end the.